Have you ever heard other Asian dating coaches emphasize that muscles is the most important thing when you just want a day game with social skills, social intelligence instead? Welcome to John Elite News. Now, I want to tell you something that might sound crazy, but muscles won't get you laid in day game, despite what other Asian dating coaches say. That's right. No matter how much they say bulking up and wearing a big black Asian masculinity shirt is the way to go, or that night game is the only option for Asian men, it is simply not true. And what have I told you? It's all part of a broader scheme by platform scammers to make you believe otherwise. Well, today I'm going to expose that lie and show you exactly what's going on and how you can break free from the manipulation. My students over here in this picture, you can see that they actually look a lot better than the Asian masculinity movement. For example, my students are on the left over here. They're more aesthetic. They have V-shaped bodies. As you can see, this is only 3 weeks. This is 1 month. This is like a couple months. This is like 4 months. You can see how ugly the bodies are for Asian masculinity movement. Look at them. Big fat, big belly. Looks like Shrek. More compound Ninja Turtles look. Looks like shit. And you can see here with big, bulky looking deltoids and fat arms. This is the Asian masculinity movement. Looks like absolute shit. So, as I was saying, for those people, for years now, these so-called Asian dating coaches, platform scammers, have been feeding you a lie. They say it's all about muscles, night game, and going to these overpriced world tours, right? That's right. They have these world tours. And how much does it cost for a world tour for a queefing canceled Casanova? Their world tour costs $50,000 for these Latin countries, these scams, these frauds. And they always do night game. They don't do day game for other Asian dating coaches. ABCs of low self-esteem. Their world tour costs $6,000 for Latin countries and $10,000. They're making money hands over fist. And for them, they are just laughing all the way to the bank. That's right. Laughing all the way to the bank. Their message, if you're Asian, you have no chance in day game unless you muscle max. That's their message to Asians everywhere. You have to muscle max and then go to a third world Latin country, the same country that canceled. Queefing canceled Casanova has an indictment from Brazil who are looking for him and trying to put him in jail for his students pulling underage girls. They push night game as the only solution while day game, real sober interactions, gets tossed aside like it doesn't even matter, huh? But here's the reality. These people aren't offering real solutions. They're preying on your insecurities. That's right. They're convincing you that night game and red pill Latin tours and black pilled muscle maxing is the only way to go because those are your only tours. I mean, those are your only options. If you're Asian, you have to go to these world tours in Latin countries. Otherwise, your SMV is going to be completely worthless. This is not the kind of things that you want to be learning for day game because my students do not muscle max. They have whitewash fashion, they assimilate it, they're whitewash tonality, and at the same time, my students can get laid for day game, which their students cannot. They only had one student laid after 2 years for ABCs of low self-esteem. 2 years of the inflation in 2023 and 2024. They finally got one Asian student laid. That's it. And they're supposed to tell you that muscle maxing is the way to go. You don't need to be muscle maxing. And night game is not the only solution for Asian men. Why? Because they don't want you to succeed without paying them outrageous sums of money for their outdated methods for these world tours. Remember, it's $50,000 to pay queefing canceled Casanova for a world tour where he got canceled in Brazil and because his students are pulling underage girls and they have an indictment. That's another thing. and ABCs of low self-esteem. They're pushing these Latin tours, and they're pushing all these third world country tours, even in Europe. And these things cost $10,000, and they laugh their way to the bank because people fall for these kind of things. They brainwash an entire generation of Asian men because they're platform scammers. They're thinking that Daygame isn't for them. And here's the problem: because now they don't think Daygame is for them, they quit and they keep saying muscle maxing this, muscle maxing, muscle maxing. But you see these Asian masculinity movements, these fat looking Ninja Turtles, these Shrek looking Asians everywhere, because Queefing canceled. Casanova says you need to do compound exercises. That's right. And look at my students. Even though my students are wearing whitewash fashion, you can actually see it. They have a better muscle definition. They have a V-shaped body. It looks way better, more aesthetic than the Asian masculinity movement. So this is what I want to say to you guys, is that you don't need to depend on muscle maxing. A lot of my students do not technically have much muscles. You should be skill maxing. You should be social skill maxing, not status maxing in Latin countries. All right. So expose secret number one, the myth of muscles and status maxing in third world countries. So here's the first exposed secret for Asians, particular engineer nerds. That's right, engineer nerds that don't have social skills or social intelligence or social calibrations. Let's talk about them. It's not about the muscles maxing or wearing Black Asian masculinity shirts. That's right. These so-called gurus are pushing this false narrative, telling you that without muscles, you'll never succeed for dating. Maybe that's more suitable for night game, but that doesn't mean you need muscles for day game. You need to have a whitewash fashion. You need to have a whitewash tonality. You need to start not muscle maxing. That's not the only option. Lots of people have dropped off because they don't want to hear this message. It's too hardcore for them. But I'm going to speak the truth, regardless of whether or not you like it. So first of all, the real issue is that many of these Asian dating coaches and their students are older. They're Asperger's. They have high functioning autism. They're engineer types with disposable income. They don't want to stretch themselves beyond what they're comfortable with. They're always seeking shortcuts because they lack emotional intelligence for these older Asian men. These guys that are in their 40s, they're engineers and they have established themselves through their jobs. And now they want to go to these Latin world tours as the only option. And muscle maxing, this is not the only option. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that because they lack the emotional intelligence, that's why they're obsessed over muscle maxing. They think it moves the needle forward for Tinder or night game during Latin country tours. That's right. But here's the truth: muscles alone won't cut it. They don't teach you that vital social skills and emotional control is necessary for long term success. That's right. You can bulk up all you want, but you don't have social skills, social intelligence, social calibrations, you're going to be stuck at square one. The Asian masculinity movement, or Asian identity, as they call it, has brainwashed these guys into thinking they need to look like some fat, bulked up Ninja Turtle that's short, bulky, and fat. For example, let's look at these muscles, right? The secret is that they try to stand out at the nightclub at the end of the night because they go after Asian women. They always say the same things. Oh, I love Asian women. They're beautiful. What I mean beautiful? They look like they don't even have a body. They're not even attractive. But these are the bulky guys that tries to wear this Asian masculinity uniform. They try to stand out at the end of the night in the nightclub. They have these fat, ugly looking bodies. Fat, look at the big fat bellies. They all look like Shrek. Look at these big arms because that way they stand out in a nightclub. When they stand out in a nightclub, then maybe at the end of the night they can pull an Asian woman home. This is the Asian masculinity movement, and other Asian dating coaches, they'll prey on you and they'll look for people that has insecurities. That's right. And they'll try to make you go to these Latin countries as the first option. They don't even believe that they can do it there, especially when they told my Asian student that Daygame is impossible in 2024. You're the only one, as they say to my student, why are you doing Daygame? You should be on Tinder and also Instagram at the same time. My student got angry and he got laid by not listening to these platform scammers. That's right. These people, these big, always talking about muscles, muscles this, muscles that, but they don't have any social intelligence because these coaches are a bunch of engineers. They're a bunch of Asperger syndrome nerds. That's right. They have Asperger syndrome, a high functioning autism. What do they know about social skills and social calibrations? Absolutely nothing. They only know how to not use that in a nightclub. The only thing they understand is to just use like body language and a little bit of game. They don't understand social skills, which you cannot do during a nightclub environment, especially why would muscles matter when you can wear a coat? That's the thing. If you have a V-shaped body like my students, muscles don't matter. So look, for example, even though my students will wear blazers and stuff, here's the fat students. This is my students, okay? Underneath their V-shaped body, they can actually show through the blazer. So therefore, it doesn't matter. They can show through the dress shirt. Look how V-shaped they are. They're perfectly aesthetic. And this only took like 1 month. This took 3 weeks. That's right, 3 weeks only. Not the best picture, but not bad from a skinny fat guy to 3 weeks having abs and visible muscles. And the other people, they took about 3 months. This one took about 1 month. If you get this much muscles, then no matter what, when you wear a coat over it, you can actually see the definition without using the Asian masculinity bulk. The bulk is going to make the blazers look really stupid. That's why you should not listen to the Asian masculinity movement. It is a false movement. This is not necessary because they don't have the social intelligence. That's right. They don't have the social intelligence and they have no idea when it comes to these things. That's why they keep talking about these bulky compound Ninja Turtle kind of look. So they don't have a solution. They're pushing this idea, this red pill status maxing in Latin countries, these world tours in these Latin countries. And all it does is make these Asian guys quit Daygame because they think that if they don't have the muscles and they cannot afford to go to Latin countries, they are screwed. In fact, these people like ABCs of low self-esteem and also queefing cancel Casanova, who's been canceled by many Latin countries who are basically indicted to be arrested and to put in jail because they're pulling underage girls in Latin countries in Brazil. So that's the thing. These people, muscle maxing, are not righteous just because they're platformed scammers being given false authority. And I have more late testimonials than both of them combined. More in Daygame, they only got one for ABCs of low self-esteem. Just one late testimonial in an easy place like Mexico or Peru. My students, they get like 5 lays in a row there. And also like one lay right before that, 6 lays in a row, all in 1 to 6 approaches, even one in Toronto with a white girl. They don't need any muscle maxing. He used to have mental trauma because of that. It's important to get social skills, yes, because the population is aging. I went to New York, isn't many hot girls as exactly, exactly. Because of the lockdowns, when it happened before in 2020 or 2021, everyone lost their social skills and 63% of men are single. But for Asians, these engineers, these nerds, these guys who have Asperger syndrome, for these nerds, they believe that the only thing to move the needle forward because they don't have social skills and social calibrations, as he said over there, because they don't have these things. They need to move the needle forward for these Asian nerdy people that have Asperger's syndrome being six-figure jobs like engineers or accountants and stuff, the ones who takes these world tours. That's right. They lack the social intelligence. And what happens is they put everyone on the world tour. And now they're pushing muscles nonstop on people. They're trying to use this in their YouTube shorts. This is their narrative. Muscles this, muscles that. That's the only thing for autistic Asperger's engineers to move the points upwards for the 20 out of 35. But let's just be honest here. They don't reach 20 out of 35. They don't even reach it because Nightgame is only 15 out of 35 to get over the line of fuckability. 15 out of 35, not 20 out of 35 like my students. That's the thing. That's what they don't want you to know. And Tinder is only 12 out of 35. And you also, that's for the status, it makes it easier because white people, for example, 12, they already have a 10-point status. They just need 2 points of text game and they get laid just by being white. JBL, just be white. But for the Asians, when they move to a different country like Colombia, or they go to a Latin country, that's right, a Latin country with their world tours, and they're spending over $50,000 for queefing, cancel, Casanova, $50,000 for these world tours or $10,000 for ABCs in these Latin countries or Eastern Europe. What they're trying to do is to cash in on their status maxing for their lifestyle, their high status job, the third world money status advantage, the exotic advantage. They're trying to raise the points by going to these places and using Tinder, and you're paying $6,000 on the world tour just to use Tinder when you don't even need them. You could have been in the country and swiping and get exactly the same results because it's totally easy. And that's the thing. And then they try to fool you as night game that you need to move the needle forward in order to start bulking up like these bulky compound ninja turtle looking Asians who looks so bad. These Asian masculinity movements, compound movement because of queefing, cancel, Casanova. And they're telling you, even ABCs of low self-esteem Asians, because these guys have no social intelligence. They have to bulk up to raise the points. They can just stand in a nightclub at the end of the night and maybe an Asian woman will be there and they can pull her back home for the Asian masculinity movement. And then they try to get the white women and other people in night game. They cannot do day game because day game requires more points. That's right, 20 out of 35 for day game. They cannot do it from night game. So that's the thing. The Asians are to blame too. The Asians who are quitting day game and supporting these platform scammers. They're paying all this money because they're engineers. They're the only ones during this inflation who are still making a lot of money. While the rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. This income inequality. That's right. This income inequality for Asian men and Indian men who are going to UFO or UMP company getting not any lays whatsoever. But however, for the ABCs of low self-esteem students and also queefing, cancel, Casanova, $50,000 just for a world tour boot camp. Super expensive. What a scam. And that's the thing. They don't want to do anything hard. These are the enablers. They have all quit day game. These Asians. This should have been my audience, but instead they listen to these platform scammers. They quit day game. They should not be quitting day game. They should double down on day game because that's your best odds of success. Takes 21 days to develop the social skills flow drill. Takes 21 days to develop the social calibrations. You don't need night game as the only solution because Asians are lazy. They're Asperger's, high functioning autism. They always try to go to the lowest common denominator because they need to engineer the situation. Engineers who are dating coaches, they don't understand social skills and social calibrations, right? They for white men, I get Asian girls, but Indians reject me. Easier date for white men. Well, we'll talk about that later. So here's the thing though. All right. Here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that they don't want to put in the work. They fall into the trap of these platform scammers because they have less money. They've been listening to these people that are using these microphones over here. And then when they speak with such authority. They have no idea what they're talking about while I'm posting lay testimonials month after month. While a lot of other dating coaches, their stuff, when they're bragging about, students polling in New York, who gives a fuck? My students have been getting laid in the United States forever. I literally can make my own 15-part, testimonial boot camp series, but I'm not talking about boot camps. I can get them laid without boot camp. I can literally teach them online. It's super easy. And also ABCs of attraction victim, which I'll be posting as testimonial. And that's the thing. He was once listening to one of their coaches, and the coach said to him, listen, you should stop doing day game. You're the only one in America that's still doing day game. You should do like Tinder and Instagram game. That's right. One of the ABCs of low self-esteem instructor told my student, which pissed them off. That's right. And let's blame the Asians. The Asians are the ones who listen to those platform scammers. They're extremely lazy. They need something that works right away without a lot of skills. That's why Asians are to blame. They're the ones who quit and they went to night game. That's because they believe they cannot do day game. And they believe without muscles, they have no chance because they have no social skills. Asian men knows that. That's why they go to these world tours. That's why they even know that they're going to be swiping in easy countries like Colombia or other places like Brazil. And that they believe that's going to be easier with muscles for night game, but simply not true. So for example, let's play. Hopefully the audio does not cut off. Let me know if it cuts off. If YouTube Live tries to censor me because of a song. One of ABC's of low self-esteem student over here. Actually, here's his testimonial. Okay, we're going to play it. I haven't played this newest one because people were ignoring me right now. So let me know if it cuts out. Victim. She's a white girl. He same day lay a white girl, and this was his first lay testimonial just by using Elite 30 and a little bit of Skype coaching. Give it a thumbs up for this. You see that? Just by using social calibrations, this student got laid. Social calibrations. You don't need stupid muscle maxing. This person has no muscles whatsoever. And they told him he was a former ABCs of low self-esteem boot camp student. He got 0 lays. That's right, 0 lays until he learned from me. Then he was able to get some lays from Nightgame, mixing their stuff because my stuff is so powerful. It's not a Nightgame system, but it works really well for it. And then all of a sudden, he starts getting laid from Daygame. It's like, why even take their boot camp? It's ridiculous. Waste of money. The student got laid with a redhead white woman during Daygame on August 3rd, 2024. His video testimonial will be posted later on this month. This isn't his first success. He had previously completed Elite 30 and got laid with. So this is the second testimonial I was posting over there. And here's a second lay with another white girl. See that? 2 of them in a row. Both of them are redheads, both of them are white girls. And that's the thing. You don't need muscle maxing. He does not have muscles. He still does not have muscles today. This is all a lie. This is what the other Asian dating coaches are pushing as their narrative, that you need big muscles in order to date game. This is a false narrative. Nobody should listen to this garbage and spend $50,000 for these Latin tours or spend $10,000 for these stupid Latin tours. These people are laughing all the way to the bank, and the Asians are falling for it because their Asians are getting richer, these crazy rich Asians, and also other people are getting poorer. Level 1 people can barely afford Elite 30 or my $7 booklet. Level 2 people can only afford Elite Bundle 2. Level 3 people can afford boot camps and thousands of dollars to up to $50,000. That's right, level 1, 2, and 3. But the rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. Level 1 become level 0 now. Level 3 becomes higher. These are the only people in level 3, these engineers, these Asian nerdy engineers are the only ones who can afford boot camps and these world tours. That's right. These are the ones who they're scamming these Asians, and the rest of the other Asians are quitting in droves because they're no longer listening to Johnny Elite, because these other platform scammers being given false authority because they have a platform to speak on, and they actually acts like they're authorities because they have all these press releases on their website. It'll say Fox News, CNN, and all these other things. And Asians automatically looking at that. The very first thing on their website, it says press. That's right, for press releases. This is how they manipulate the Asian people. But what does the press know about Daygame? What does the press know about vetting for what gets you laid and what gets you not laid? Because even Matt Artisan was on the news before for his boot camp. He only has 3 Daygame laid testimonials. I'm not even sure of his Daygame, only 3 in total out of 400 people. How does the news vet it? Oh, sure, the news did vet Queef and cancel Casanova. They vetted him well, and they cancel him twice now on the news. So that's not surprising. But however, how could they vet what's a good company or not when these people lies to you, calling themselves the best Asian dating coach in America? or best Asian dating coach, when I have more Daygame late testimonials than they have of Nightgame. I have more students married, and they just have nothing but reviews. That's right. On their website, they have reviews. Who gives a fuck about reviews? Reviews does not get you laid. Reviews mean they like the boot camp, but they did not get laid unless they specified. Whenever they write they had a romantic encounter, now these people are trying to stuff their testimonial page. What they're trying to trick you with romantic encounters is that they did not get laid. They pulled a woman home and had a romantic encounter. They use very strange and very subtle language to fool the sheeps, the Asian sheeps. And then whenever a student does get laid, they parade it in front of everybody on their YouTube. That's right. They parade it and they make sure every last human being sees it. Even though they only got one student laid for Latin countries, just one. That's not a lot for their students. So that means their game does not work. It was just popularity and maybe just a bit of luck in the Latin country. That's right. So basically, that's what I have to say about this one. The second secret that's exposing them is for the outdated mystery method system derivatives. What is a derivative, you may ask? Derivative means that this is something that's derived from the mystery method. That's right. Their system, they were actually taught by mystery, the actual mystery. They're actually taught by him. And then this is what screwed Asians up because mystery is Asperger's. That's right. Asperger's, logical, like these engineers. If a person was an engineer and that was their first occupation before they actually started to teach day game or they started to teach night game as a dating coach. If they were an engineer, it means they have Asperger's syndrome. The odds are very high that they have Asperger's syndrome. They have nothing to teach you for social intelligence. The only thing they know how to do is to cheat the system, perhaps using alcohol maxing and heavy bedroom emasculation. I'm not saying ABCs does that, but I'm saying other dating coaches does that. If the coach was an engineer, that's right. And they tell other people that, oh, they must be autistic. They must be autistic too. They're the ones who are high functioning autism and they don't even know it yet. If a game does not work without alcohol, it is not sustainable. This is why a lot of day game coaches do not have day game lay testimonials in 2024 and 2023. They're showing you some old stuff from 2021 and before. Their game has expired. That's right. Their game has expired. And here's what most people don't realize is that the game can expire very easily. For example, let's see if I have a chart over here. Okay, no, over here. But however, there was a chart that I had which showed 2021. It was easier. 2022 was beginning of the inflation. 2023, 2024. Most people realize it's a lot harder. That's why a lot of Asians were the first to quit. And I'm wondering, I'm trying to save the Asian men. I'm trying to help them. But where are they now? They all disappeared because I forgot all about them because I got too many of them laid. I thought they were taken care of. But these platform scammers have been telling people that it's all about muscles. That's right, because they have a platform, they have a microphone to speak on. And these are the enablers, the Asians. They're the enablers. Okay. I switched from glasses to contacts, like you said. For hair loss, right? I still have my hair. So I have like a helmet over here. I restore. This thing's a $1,200. Perhaps using red light therapy can help with vitamin D. You want to take some vitamin D because that's the precursor for hair. A little bit rosemary oil may help a little bit on the outside, but you must get the vitamin D in there first. That's why I recommend. Also, I have a DHT reducing shampoo. That's how I'm able to keep most of my hair. Also, it's stress destroys your hair. For example, you got too much cortisol. You need some ashwagandha, or your hair is all going to follow what they call alopecia. But let's get back to the topic. So the second exposed secret is that the system they're teaching is outdated with the misery method derivatives. They rely on the misery method system, which may have worked a decade ago, but not for day game, but mostly for night game. But it is irrelevant today. These tall, self-proclaimed high leg count white dating coaches parades around like they got it all figured out. They speak with such authority that they say stuff like, oh, you got to sexualize it. You got to DHV. You got to set up dates. Schedule straight to the house. These people, just like ABCs, except that they actually don't have more than one Daygame late testimonial, exactly tied with ABC's mystery method, one Daygame late testimonial, popular coach, another popular coach, one Daygame late testimonial, just one for ABC's of low self-esteem. One Asian got laid in a Latin country, and while the other one had the white student laid, with a white girl, who gives a shit? My students are getting laid month after month, year after year, even during the inflation. The mystery method, the misery method is completely outdated garbage. And they start talking about their testimonials, how they got 1,500 testimonials, but most of it's Tinder garbage. Tinder does not count as testimonials. That's right. Tinder does not count as testimonials because it's not pickup. An Indian from India can swipe for you. You can hire him. He'll be your assistant. And all of a sudden, whenever he follows the flow chart of your Tinder profile, then he'll send a WhatsApp number to the coach, and the coach just have to text her and get that lay. He's actually cheating the process because this is not a lay count. This is a body count. That's right. It is a body count. Think about this. Women in general. Women have like some of them have over 70 or 80 lays. Is that a lay count because you're using a strategy? No, that's a body count. That's right. It's a body count, not a lay count. So therefore, it's not pickup. It's not skills. There's no like skills involved, no social skills, no social calibrations, no emotional control, just text game. That's right. 12 out of 35. They should not brag about this stuff or any positive YouTube comment. When the person says, oh, they got over red pill or they got over black pill, that becomes a new testimonial on their page. They're stuffing their page just like ABC's is stuffing their page with just the word reviews and not getting laid, or they use the word romantic encounter and not getting laid. The only thing that gets laid is when they actually say they got laid. Sure, they may have some students that are married, but I got way more students married. I got way more students laid than they do. They have like what? Altogether, all their testimonials may be just like 50 or 60. I have 646 laid and poll testimonials. That's right, 646. And these are mostly Daygame. That's right. That's harder than nightgame. And that's the thing. People don't realize they don't know what they don't know. They think they got it all figured out, but only one Daygame laid testimonial in 2024 after 2 years for ABCs of low self esteem. That's from a Latin country where the standards are different, especially when you have third world money status advantage and you also have an exotic advantage and lifestyle advantage. They can't afford anything over there. That's why Asians have more value over there. Here's the reality. They aren't above the score of 20 out of 35. Let me break that down. Day game for 20 out of 35. Night game is 15 out of 35. Tinder is 12 out of 35. Looks is out of 10. That's right. Money is out of 5. And status is out of 10. For Asians, status is only 1 out of 10, the most. But however, in Latin countries, they can add a few extra points, like having a high status job, being an engineer, that they can tell the women. Or as they can say, like they're benefiting from the third world money status advantage because that's a third world country. They have more money, therefore they're considered higher status. That's the earned status. They might push them up to a 4 points for Tinder because having exotic advantage and all these things, but still that is not enough for America. That's right. You need social skills is 2.5 points. That's why my students are learning the social skills flow drill. They have the habits for 21 days. That's right, 21 days to develop a habit. But these people don't know what they're talking about. They have these stupid things, they call it verbals. Verbals? What do you mean by verbals, huh? Doesn't make any sense. Or a free word association from cancel, queefing, Casanova. Let's see. Dude, don't worry about it. Go to the gym and start lifting. Oh no, fuck off. Okay. If you're gonna post your Asian masculinity shit like before, you're not gonna be allowed to be here. So you better not promote your Asian masculinity, fat body bullshit of bulky Asian Ninja Turtles. You see that Asians are so autistic. These are the ugly, bulky, fat Asian Ninja Turtles over here. Number one, big fat bodies, big fat Shrekies. Number two, big fat bodies, compound exercises. This is like the only solution for autistic, Asperger's, Asian men. Look at this. And always black shirts, always shitty hair. Look at these big arms that look like a cantaloupe. And then big bulky with zero definition. No, I'm not a boy, so don't worry. Just do not promote your Asian masculinity shit because Even if you're talking to the other person, I don't want this promoted here. I'm trying to show them an alternative because my students, they get laid without this garbage. And this is how they get laid. Because as I said, social skills is 2.5 points. Social calibration is 2.5 points. And this is something that the misery method cannot understand because these people are socially impaired. If they were engineers before, for day like for before they're a dating coach, if they're an engineer for occupation, what that means is that they're socially impaired. This is an area they cannot touch. They always bring their night game shit like 3 second rules, their DHV stories, setting up dates. All this stuff does not work really well. And try steps, date straight to the house. All these other shit, sexualizing it. None of this stuff, seating the pole. None of this stuff works for Daygame. None of this stuff works anymore for Daygame. Even white people are struggling listening to this garbage right now in Western countries, unless they're in a Latin country. This stuff is not working anymore in 2024. People don't have Daygame lay testimonials anymore, except for me. Month after month, year after year. And other people that brags that they're the king, they only have it from 2021 and before. The next thing is also emotional control, 2.5 points. And game is 2.5 points. That's right. That's 20 out of 35. 20 out of 35 points automatically gets you laid, just like my students do. 20 out of 35. But for night game, you only need 15 out of 35, just 15 points. It is less because you don't need the social skills flow drill. You cannot do social skills because it's a loud nightclub. Everything is super loud. You cannot hear each other. You and a woman, you can't hear each other. So therefore, you have to talk really loud and you cannot socialize. Second of all, you don't have emotional control. You cannot be chilled in a nightclub. It is super loud, it is full of alcohol, and is full of loud music. How is anyone supposed to have the emotional control of Daygame? They don't have the emotional control at all. That's right. And that's why they try to trick you with a misery method that simply cannot access the social intelligence. So they focus on stupid verbal tricks like word associations, or they call it verbals, whatever the fuck that means. But they have no clue about real social skills. They can't navigate loud outside of loud nightclubs or bars. This is why they always fail at Daygame. That's right. Their calibration is just a series of mechanical moves. Like, for example, A stands for attract. That's right. A stands for attract. And what is, I forgot right now. I'm just going off the top of my head. Attract. B stands for be in the moment or some shit. Banter, like teasing or some shit, and cocky funny. C stands for connection. Compliance, whatever the fuck that means. D stands for direct intent. Disqualify. E stands for evaluate. F stands for fun or fuck or something like that. Who gives a fuck? This is a stupid structure which is linear for 15 out of 35 night game. While yes, we have to give them credit where it's due. They do have some students late for night game, but they don't have it for day game, except for one of them in the last 2 years. This structure is too rigid. It does not work because they don't have social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, which takes 21 days to develop, especially with my system. 21 days. And that's the thing. They're lazy. These Asian Asperger engineers that listens to this kind of stuff where they think is muscle maxing because they don't have access to the social skills, the social calibrations, the emotional control. Since Asians are super beta and super narcissistic for day game, they really roll their eyes. The Chinese will roll their eyes whenever white women talks. They'll be doing this all the time because they don't care. They don't have empathy. They don't have empathy at all. So they just keep rolling their eyes and laughing at her because they're a bunch of sociopaths. That's right. These Asian masculinity people are the most narcissistic people. That's why they're so nice to you when they speak to you. They're like, hey guys, how's it going? Oh, get this. I don't want to offend you or nothing. But get this. You know what's great? That's why you got to build muscles and stuff like that. ABCs of low self-esteem. That's the thing. They're treating you like you're a bunch of stupid kids. That's right. They treat you like you're in elementary school. They talk down to you. They're like, okay, I don't want to offend you guys, but what you want to do is to do something like this and work on muscles. And it's all about dominance. And you got to be direct and give her a compliment. Like they don't know what they're talking about. And even tall self-proclaimed coaches, they speak with such confidence. You got to be congruent. You got to be congruent. You got to be like with no facial expressions whatsoever. Got to be congruent. And yeah, you got to DHV it and 3 second rule and say Can I meet you real whatever? They have no idea what they're talking about. These people talk a good game. They don't show a good game. And then they'll start to say, oh, yeah, look at my results in Tinder. In reality, what does that matter? Tinder results don't mean shit. Tinder is not pickup. And that person from India can actually swipe for you as an assistant and then send a number to you on WhatsApp for you to get her back out there. Why does that count? Women's body count, does that count? A lay count? No, it's a body count. She's just a woman. They have some value. Why are the most of their students white? Why is only 10% of their stuff in their 1,500 testimonials? They actually have like 10% of it compared to me that are pickup. I have like 90% more. So they're technically speaking, I'm the best dating coach in the world, but I just don't call myself the best dating coach because I don't teach Tinder and Nightgame. But technically speaking, I'm also the best dating coach. I mean, I say mystery method has a lot of people laid. Why that's true way back then with the mystery method, but they cannot do it for Daygame. That's the problem. Their stuff does not work for Daygame for anyone. This is just nonsense playing a huge numbers game. Of course, some white guy would say, well, I used the misery method before and got laid from Daygame. Well, you ask them, is it during the inflation, 2024, 2023? They're like, no, but before that. Well, you're just playing a numbers game. It doesn't matter what you do. Just be white. Just be white. But muscles protector stats still important. Don't over. It's not that. You need to be whitewashed. For example, you have to have the right watches. You need to have the right fashion. You need to have the right stuff, the right pants, everything. You need to have the right hairstyle. You become whitewashed, so you're part of the in tribe. You're gonna steal the white man's armor and you're gonna use it against the white women. That's right. You're gonna be part of the in tribe. ABCs of low self-esteem will say, listen, okay. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I don't know why. I got a lot of whiteheads here. So, but ABCs of low self esteem will keep telling you this. They'll keep saying, listen, you should succeed because you're Asian, but not in spite of it. You should succeed because you're Asian, not in spite of it. But in reality, they're not succeeding. They only succeeded once in a Latin country, which means you are not enough anymore. You need to have the right fashion. You need to have a V-shaped body. You need to have the same things, the same elevator shoes as my students. You need to use the right calibration. You must steal the white man's armor for the blazer. You must steal his his camel pants. You must steal their army boots, which is my students' shoes for dress shoes. You must steal their hairstyle, which is the helmet, the watch, everything, accessories. You must take that and use it against the white women. And of course, you say, well, what's wrong with me? I am enough. I am enough. But you're only saying that because you're a narcissistic person, a narcissistic personality disorder. This is why they try not to offend you. They don't want you to learn these things. They don't want you to have a V-shaped body like my students who looks great underneath a blazer. They want you to be a fat compound ninja turtle, not aesthetic like my Asian students over here. Look at his definition. Here's the white student over here. High school student too. Look how much muscle. And this is a guy with 10 fuck buddies, whatever. 3 weeks like that. 1 month like this for the other Asian guy. 1 month with my workout plan. They all do exactly the same thing. They all follow the same formula. Instead of having big, bulky Asian Ninja Turtle bodies, you don't want to have a big compound Ninja Turtle body. Because this one over here will still show up underneath the blazer, underneath your whitewashed dress shirt, even if you're not wearing the blazer. Because it's a V shape, small waist, huge V shape in a very short amount of time. You don't want to spend all day just bulking up because if you're shorter, you're going to look like a Ninja Turtle, like a Michelin star kind of, or those Michelin, the Ghostbuster fat Michelin kind of thing. And that's not what you want. So, but that's the thing. If you're whitewash and you assimilate it, you no longer create xenophobia. That's right. This is what they don't tell you. As they're all wearing their black Asian clothing, like a bunch of ninjas, black hair, black everywhere, to Latin countries. That's right. Their students are wearing nothing but black, like an Asian ninja. And that exactly is why you guys are stuck, because you listen to this garbage. You're all wearing this black Asian ninja outfit. You're all stuck. So therefore, they say, oh, be Asian wash. But sometimes that's not enough. Just like another Latino guy who was angry because he got the hotter women, that's 7 out of 10, when he was banging nothing but 3 out of 10s using UFO shit. And when he was banging like a 7 out of 10, it worked, but he said, oh, it didn't feel like me. No, but you're a narcissist. That's right. You're a narcissist, and your Gen Z mixed with migrant fashion does not work because you create the out tribe, the fear. That's right. Asians don't understand. They're creating fear. I had one Asian student who was Asian masculinity. He was wearing this super Asian outfit. When I made him dress whitewash with the same dress shirt, everything else, and then all of a sudden he starts pulling a Latina in Florida home, a stripper. And then all of a sudden she sees his pictures that are super Asian wash with a stupid dragon jacket and all these stupid Asian masculinity friends and Asian masculinity women. And she got completely turned off and she completely left. And when he was dressing in the blazer, everything, guess what happened? White people started talking to him like he didn't understand why white people would talk to him. He thought they were racist. But in reality, I say they're trying to make friends with you because you're part of the in tribe. That's right, because you're part of the in tribe. And he's like, oh my God, I never experienced this before, John. Yeah, because you're dressed like out tribe. White women are not racist. They're not racist against you. White people are rarely racist. They're only xenophobic. They're extremely xenophobic for white women. They're fear. This is evolutionary psychology. And just because you're using muscles as a way to compensate, you're missing the big picture. So, how is the black belt outfit creating an out tribe image? Because Asians are the only ones that are they're noticed for. Look at this. When you look at the Asian masculinity movement, what is the clothing they all wear? Look at this guy when he took off his shirt, black pants. What about this guy? Probably the same kind of clothing. Shitty hair. Look at this guy, black shirt. Always the same black shirts. They always wear black because black is like a ninja. All Asians wear black. All my Asian students, they wear black pants, they wear black shoes. This is the Asian stereotype. It's kind of like Indians wearing flannels, like pink flannels. That's how Indians dress with their big benchoed beards. So this is the Asian outfit. This is the out tribe outfit. If you reinforce the stereotype, being Mr. Chinaman fresh off the boat, they're gonna treat you like Asian Chinaman fresh off the boat. Give a thumbs up if you're learning from something. My students dress whitewash. They don't wear all black. I may wear a black blazer, but this is more of a suit. This is not a blazer. But however, my students, when they wear a black blazer, fine. But they have different colors for different clothing. It works all around the world. Every single country all around the world. But the Asian outfit, as you can see, with their Asian masculinity, ABCs of low self-esteem, all their testimonials, they're only all wearing black, or at least in most cases, always black this, black that. You're giving it away that you're part of the Chinaman crew because the reason why you dress so bad is because your parents dress so bad. You have a blind spot. Just like Indians have no idea that Indians with their curly hair and their big bencho beards and their flannels and their tapered dark blue pants and they're also sneakers. They're dressing exactly like a poor Gen Z student. That's right. Indians dress like a poor Gen Z. This is why Gen Z and Indians are struggling in dating because that fashion puts them in the out tribe. Gen Z is also part of the out tribe. If you try to dress in the Gen Z hairstyle, I guarantee you it's going to be 10 times harder because 63% of men are single and Gen Z is responsible because of the lockdowns. Because of the lockdowns, now you guys have lost all your social skills and the ability to socialize. That's right. And they'll tell you, these platform scammers, they'll tell you that, oh, I tried to use social skills and I only made friends with white people. But didn't work with women. Well, what social skills do you think Asians have? They have a blind spot. That's right. They have a big blind spot. They have no idea what social skills is. Social skills is not free word association shit. And then compound Ninja Turtle. These people are platform scammers. They have a big platform. And that's the thing. They think it's a bunch of mechanical moves and they square off and they might point a finger right on her shoulder to open her and turn her. But you can't do that for Daygame. But it's all robotic. And what about emotional control? You can't fake that in a loud nightclub environment. That's 2.5 points that they're missing out on there. And only one person got laid in a Latin country with ABCs of low self esteem. That's right. Only one person got laid in Latin country, the youngest person in the group with the decent looks. He's the only one who was able to get laid from Daygame in a Latin country. Well, why can't you do that in the West? And why did it take 2 years to get your first laid testimonial? Remember, if ABC's a low self-esteem student gets laid, they always push in everyone's face the word laid. He got laid, he got laid, he got laid, Tinder got laid, night game got laid, day game got laid. And they'll lie to you. If it's a poll, they'll call it a romantic encounter, whatever that means. And then all of a sudden, they'll be posting their Tinder lays and then stupid reviews. They'll be like, oh, we've got so many student reviews. Reviews does not mean they got laid. This is testimonial stuffing. And here's the funny thing. 20 out of 35 points gets you late. Let's listen to the second student. And all he done was social calibrations. Okay, let's look at the second testimonial over here. And we can see how he done it. He's part of the 3 months to proficiency program. Asian guy who banged a white girl. As you can see over here. Don't worry, the pictures are censored. She's tied up. This guy's a little bit psychopathic. You know, Chinese people, right? Narcissistic, psychopathic. Yeah. So it's a white girl here. It's censored well enough. And all of a sudden, she becomes his fuck buddy. And this is what happens when he just learns social calibrations without needing game tactics, without needing all this extra bullshit. Let's have a listen. Okay.
John will lead, and my experience with this coaching.
I'll go a little bit faster.
So a bit about myself. I'm a 5'7" Chinese Asian from Southeast Asia, immigrated from there to the US. So currently I'm working in the US as a software engineer.
The fucking engineers. That's right. Engineers are the ones who takes ABCs of low self-esteem and also queefing canceled Casanova's world tours. That's right. Their engineers are the ones who are always taking their stuff right now and quitting Daygame to go to nightgame. Engineer, the ones who have money.
You know, typical engineers. I was a very unsociable person, very logical, couldn't do small talk at all, very boring, very monotonous person. So didn't know how to talk to girls at all. But after going through John's program, just 2 weeks of it, not even the full thing yet, I was able to get laid with a white girl just yesterday. And so I met her at the mall.
Give it a thumbs up that this 5'7" Chinese guy gets laid with a white girl.
Long-term sustainable results while improving your social.
Oops.
Clause. I mean, she was resisting a bit. She was saying like, "Oh, John," and I just followed all of John's instructions on how to approach a girl, how to open her, how to talk to her, and keep a conversation going for like 5 to 6 minutes. And finally, I number closed her. And a week later, I invited her on a date, which she said yes to. And John gave me even more instructions on what to do on the date and how to end the date and pull her to my place. So I just followed it, managed to get her to my place, dealt with her objections like the way John teaches it, and managed to get a blow.
No, engineers need to stop being a fucking Asperger nerd that depends on Asian masculinity. Listen, I'm about to remove you like as a user from my channel, just to let you know that. You promote your Asian masculinity stuff. I remember last time when Asian masculinity crashed all my YouTube lives. If you promote again your stupid muscle maxing, he doesn't have. Does this guy look like a huge muscle Asian guy? No, he doesn't have a lot of muscles. So shut the fuck up.
Get a blowjob from her. Because I mean, she was resisting a bit. She was saying like, "Oh, I'm not on the pill. I'm not supposed to be in the guy's house tonight. My mom doesn't know about it." I mean, there were a lot of. She had a lot of objections basically about being there. But following John's teachings, I was able to deal with them and got her in a mood. So I mean, it ended that day with a blowjob because her mom called and she needed to go back early. But after that, I mean, John just told me to text her and plan another day to hang out. So I did that. And next week, I was able to get her out again. And this time I got laid with her. So this girl was like a brunette, born and raised in the US, so pure white girl. So I mean, if I can do it with John's system, I mean everyone can. Because the course I took from John was Kaizen. That is the first course. I'm part of his 3MP bundle, which is 3 months of proficiency, and I'm only in the first 2 weeks of his program. So currently, after 2 weeks of training, I was able to get laid for a girl on Daygame. So I mean, I think everyone can do it. So, and the funny thing is, I didn't even learn anything about game yet. So far, he's only taught me social skills, fashion, how to stand, body posture, and social skills. No game because I do not know how to flirt yet. I do not know how to tease yet, and everything was done online. So even with those, I mean, he was able to guide me through everything. And
What the fuck? He actually got laid without any game tactics, you know, like ABCs of low self-esteem. Oh yeah, you need like step A, that's for attract, approach, whatever, right? B is for be in the moment, banter, and whatever the fuck. C is for compliance, and then whatever. D is for direct intent. Like, shut the fuck up. We don't need game shit. You need body language like a natural. That's right. You need body language like a natural. You need to be a natural because naturals are chilled. They have good body language. They have good facial expressions. They have good social skills, flow drill. They start talking with everybody. You don't need as much game when you have the other stuff, when you're emotionally chilled, when you have good social calibrations, when you have good social skills, flow drill. That's right. That's all he did. And he got a white girl fuck buddy. That's right. An engineer. So basically, no, he did not use heel lifts for some reason. I could not get him to use heel lifts. So
my first lady. So, yeah. So essence covers everything. So in terms of fashion, basically
Oh yeah, one time for fashion, he was wearing this red sweater and tried to look like a Chinaman. And I told him, "Listen, motherfucker." He's like, "Well, my infield's longer now. My infield's longer." And I was like, "Listen, let's listen to infield. I bet you got friend zoned. I bet you've been friend zoned." And we listened to the infield together. And what do you know? He got friend zoned. I was like, I was right. I'd rather you get rejected because you're wearing the right fashion than to get friend zoned by the wrong one. She has to know you have a dick. Then afterwards, he got laid afterwards when he finally fixed it. So okay, 5'7" is enough anyway. I want to start using the heelless, but sure know how. Listen, when to get the bedroom. That's not the point. The point is that you don't have my student skills. You're not trained by me. If you're not trained by me, then how will you know how to have the skills? Don't you guys get it? It's 20 out of 35. Like I said, it's not 15 out of 35. Because he was working on social skills and the social calibrations, he's raised 5 points, 2.5 points each, right? Looks is out of whatever, money's out of whatever. He still wears the same shit as me, exactly the same. Status, because he's whitewashed, he's no longer 0 out of 10 like Asian masculinity movement or ABCs of low self-esteem Asian students. He actually was more like 1 out of 10. Having said that, he had good social skills and social calibrations, and he had to take ashwagandha to reduce his fear. Therefore, to be more calm. When he took ashwagandha and stuff like that, then he has less fear. So he has more emotional control because he, sorry, nose is super itchy. Next time I'm gonna get rid of whiteheads in here. So basically, as I'm saying, because of that, because of that, he's already got 7.5 points. He doesn't even need game. He did not flirt. He did not do anything like that. His body language flirted for him. That's right. His body language did all the flirting and also build the attraction gradually because I made him actually do the 45-degree diagonal body language for 3 hours in a row. And you might be thinking that's cruel and unusual punishment, but that doesn't matter because that's what got him laid. He had to stand 3 hours like those Chinese people doing a horse stance or something in Kung Fu, but he had to do the 45-degree stance and he had to hold it there for 3 painful hours on each side. But that's what got him laid. If it works, it works. It's not cruel. It's not cruel because he paid me to get him laid as fast as possible. 2 weeks, bam, white girl, fuck buddy. Let's see. Guys, listening, John, I cannot stress enough the importance of whitewash. It's very important because, especially for executive, a lot of people have moved to Toronto, especially Indians, and they all moved to a place called Brampton. That's right, they all moved to Brampton. A lot of engineers there. And the problem is that they don't assimilate, just like the Haitians, right? That moved to the United States. They don't assimilate. You got to assimilate because this is not your country. This is not your culture. You want to be part of the in tribe. You want to whitewash so you can use their whitewashed stuff. When you assimilate, you make white friends. They never were against you. If you're Indian or whatever, if you dress whitewash, that's right. They'll look at you like you're a brother to them, despite your skin color. I know that sounds very strange, but when people starts going out there with a bench-old beard, curly hair, and then they don't even use deodorant with a body odor, it smells worse than a skunk's asshole. Not to be racist, I'm just saying. When you start doing stuff like that, and you have no awareness, and you have a unibrow, you don't cut it, and then you wear like a pink flannel and you start wearing like a tapered pants that is dark blue as Indian and in black or white sneakers, looking like a Gen Z person, you're going to create nothing but excessive xenophobia because they start blaming other people saying, oh, the other Canadians are racist against them, it's a hate crime. No, what the fuck are you talking about? You're creating the xenophobia. Nobody's racist. It's xenophobia. So instead of trying to like be part of the out tribe, you should be part of the in tribe. That's what you should be doing. Exactly what executive said. 100% correct. So you cannot download the FlowJo chart unless you train under me. I do not teach this to the public. Why can you download it? What the fuck are you talking about? You can't download anything from my training at all. Who says you can download anything? Ridiculous. Let's continue. So
to me on what to get. I went out in the store, I tried a bunch of clothes, sent him all the pictures. He looks through them and basically tells you what exactly you need to wear. And he would send you a list of what to buy, what to wear, how to wear it. And for your hairstyle, he'll send you a bunch of pictures and instructions on how exactly to get it cut. And even when you get it cut, he will look to the video of what the barber does and give live feedback on what you need to change and what you need to tell them and what the barber needs to change. So, I mean, he guides you through every step of the process. He holds your hand and goes through everything with you. In terms of his training, he is definitely a tough coach. Tough. He will do whatever it takes to get your.
Like I said, if I made him stand like 45 degrees diagonally for 3 hours, it is not my fault because he was very twitchy. It got him laid. And that might be cruel and unusual to a lot of people. But like I said in my other videos, I am a tough coach. People want results. This is what it takes. This is not just some play a numbers game. He got laid in less than 1 to 6 approaches. All of them did actually, because they're so calibrated. This is so calibrated. This is exactly what people do not understand. The social calibrations does matter. Let's continue.
Did you support your social goals so you can?
So basically, that's right. Let's continue. 3 hours. That's right. For each side, that's 6 hours. That means he recorded video of him standing there, and you might be thinking that's fucking cruel. Like I said, people want results. I made the old man pinch his nipples whenever he fucks up. That old man, 55 years old, bald German guy in Kaizen program. That guy got laid right now with a 10 out of 10 German blonde with a perfect yoga body. 40 years old, but he banged a 21-year-old one approach, 25 one approach, 21 one approach, 3 of them, and it's number 4. This is 5 lays and girlfriend younger than him. This is what it takes to win, guys. I'm not fucking around here. I am like a drill sergeant, like I said, but I'm also a very nice guy. When you get to know me, I want your results to happen no matter what. So if I seem like I'm cruel and I made those videos, I'm not bullshitting. And a lot of people are forgiving me, right? Because when I start talking about how people are triggered snowflakes or whatever, but then they start to see that tough love actually helps them, then they realize that they're the ones who are offended and they need to submit to authority and follow the training like an army, like the IDF. All right, let's continue. Okay. The next thing, solution number 3, is to focus on social calibrations, not muscles. So here's the solution. Instead of obsessing over muscles, you need to focus on whitewash fashion, on being part of the in tribe, not creating this xenophobia that ABCs of low self esteem pushes, where they tell you to embrace being Asian in a Latin country with your black clothing, and as if that's your only shot at life in dating. You don't need to, if you don't assimilate, they'll make you feel like you're part of the out tribe, which is exactly what happened to one of my students, a former ABCs of attraction victim who wasted time and money on their boot camps only to see no results. But, but here's the twist. He took my program, worked on his social skills flow drill, whitewashed his tonality, and applied the arrow science. What's the arrow science, you may ask? It's very simple. Fuck number closes, always maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum at some point, not always consistently like UFO, shitty half-ass sexualization. Oh, that's what she says. Ha ha ha. Do you like your hair pulled from a girl? Do you like it from a guy? Ha ha ha. Shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're talking about. Your students are banging 3 out of 10s. The Indians are getting no results. The Middle Eastern people with their fake Islam conversion are getting 0 results. They're holding people hostage. That's right. They're holding people hostage, just like the Israeli hostages. Metaphorically speaking, they're holding the Indians hostage and the Middle Eastern people hostage. They're not getting people laid with their bullshit. These people have no idea what they are talking about. ABC's only has 1 Daygame lay testimonials after 2 years. Tall, self-proclaimed, high lay count guys, they only got 1 student laid for Daygame this entire year. These people no longer has the right to speak because Daygame has been harder, yet I kept posting late testimonials and you guys kept ignoring it. You looked at me like I was crazy, as if this was common, because you guys are getting more distracted by these platform scammers speaking in the microphone, telling you that it's all muscle maxing and that is the solution in Latin countries. This is unacceptable. This is totally, totally unacceptable. So I thought you changed your training. I don't change the training for shit. I don't apologize for the training. That does not change. I'm just nicer to people and stop calling them a fucking sewer rat. a poor sewer rat. I'm not calling anyone a sewer rat. I'm not saying they're acting like sewer rats, but sewer rats was something I apologize for. Why should I change the training if it works? You guys got to stop being snowflakes. This is the problem with Asian people. Asian people are narcissistic. They think I'm like their tiger parents. But the difference is I'm not like your tiger parents. Your tiger parents, you are their retirement plan. If you're good at school, as they tell you, and you have a house and you have a car, you have a good job, and the woman will fall in your lap. The secret behind it, tiger parents, is to make sure they can move into your place. Because with the other person over there, that Chinese 5'7" guy, his parents tried to move into his place, and he had to take the mental trauma cure program from 3 months to proficiency. He hated his parents a lot. They're a bunch of psychopaths. But that's the thing. I'm not a tiger parent. I'm a drill sergeant and a general, and I get people laid. People like it because they like results. If I'm nice to you guys, like ABCs of low self-esteem, they can only get one Daygame lay testimonial from a Latin country. What do they know by being nice to you? It does not work. Tough love works. And you may not like it, but this is what works during the inflation. But no, I haven't changed my methods one bit. I'm not any bit nicer. I'm just a tiny bit nicer. But I have 46 laid and poll testimonials in 2024 alone. They only have one for Daygame. I have 46 and counting. It's not over yet. So that's the thing. He took the program, he worked on his social skills flow drill, whitewashed his tonality, and applied my arrow science maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum, objections looping of the sexual objection. He got 2 lays, okay, with a white girl in the United States. Who am I talking about here? I don't remember which student. I think he got 1 lay in the United States. No, got 2 lays with a white girl in the United States. Something an instructor is impossible. Oh, I know who I'm talking about now. I'm talking about the other student who was an ABCs of low self-esteem victim. I was going to post a second video testimonial, but then again, people did not care. So they just looked at me like I was crazy. They were super poor. And then I got this guy laid. I know I already posted this one already, but we can play it one more time quickly. This is a ABCs of low self-esteem victim. Let's hear what he has to say on his first lay. Oh, here it is. Right now, well, the Indian students actually have to approach. A lot of the Indian students, I'm still trying to get them laid again. So the ones I posted is already there. Remember, other Indian, or I mean, for testimonials, if you see Indians ever from other people, they're always from 2021 from other coaches. 2021 and before, their game doesn't work. I already posted Indian people getting laid in 2024. And also, I have another Indian who's married recently, right now. Like he's gonna get married before the end of the year. So 1 marriage and 1 same day lay. So that's what I have for this year. So, but Indians are always quitting because they're always when you look at their necks, right? My neck's not fat. They always have like this. A lot of Indians have like a lot of cortisol. They're vegetarians and they're autistic, so they have a lot of cortisol. They always have a double chin here. It's always like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" I'm Indian. I'm Indian, John. I have a double chin, right? They have a double chin. And then when they're fat, like I said, fat people quit very easily. These Indian guys, they're so lazy. They procrastinate. They don't build the habits. So you guys have to lose the body fat, quit with your fucking vegan bullshit, take enough ashwagandha, and start fucking approaching. These people literally procrastinate for weeks at a time. They always love to take breaks and they like to stonewall you and they like to quit. So, yeah, American based Indian got laid. He was not born in America, but he lives in America. The other guy is American too. They're both born, like the other guy's born in India, but moved to America. Why is this thing all fuzzy? So one of the students from India is actually like, he's born in India, but he lived in like the West so long, his accent changed a little bit. But let's get back to the point. So Here's the thing. He got 2 lays with 2 white girls, this guy. Yeah, the reason why I have to change his voice like that is because of ABC's of low self-esteem. Because he was their former student and he got no results. So I can play the other testimonial, but I also have to censor his voice too. I didn't post it yet, but yes. These Indians need to hit the gym. No, they need to be whitewashed. Hitting the gym is not going to work. They need to wear blazers. You know, I say one more time, you promote your Asian masculinity shit. Get the fuck out of here. I did not remove you from my channel. But if I ever see you, once again, motherfucker, with your Asian masculinity shit, it's all muscles. No, Indians need to be whitewashed. They need to wear blazers to raise the money because engineers now, because they have a good thing, they need to lose their fucking body fat. If you see Indian like this, it means they're autistic. When they start doing this kind of thing, this thing starts to go like this. This is like autism. I don't have this fat over here. That means too much cortisol. It's not because of age. Indians are fat because they're full of cortisol because they're Asperger engineers that are emotional triggered narcissists. Let's continue. Social skills. Asian student got laid during Daygame, August 3rd, 2024. His video testimonial will be posted later on this month. This isn't his first success. He had previously completed Elite 30 and got laid with another 4-year-old redhead. This is his second time. He didn't need to spend $6,000 to $8,000 on expensive Daygame bootcamp scam. If he already got laid twice with redheaded white girls in the United States with my Daygame product, Elite 30, also my consulting training of Elite Access. He was in Daygame. Like many other Asian dating coaches. You see his other testimonial before it's released. Here's what it looks like. It's going to be exactly like this. This is the Asian guy over here. This is unreleased. I have a lot of unreleased stuff. Engineers relying on rigid, effective systems. His company or one of their members told him that Daygame doesn't work anymore. He should stick to Tinder and Instagram game. This rubbed him the wrong way, as he proved ABCs of attraction wrong by getting laid in August for Daygame, the white, which this company can't get a single student laid with their mystery method derivative system that only works for nightgame, not Daygame. But here's the thing: this guy banged 2 white women, something their students and even their instructors can't do for Daygame. Their system derived from mystery method with their own twist. It's an Asperger system with 0 laid testimonials for Daygame. It doesn't work in 2024. If you're trying to DHV, go to ref, or any other nonsense, you won't get laid in 2024 for Daygame. You've got to learn to maneuver, sexualize it to the max, backfill with flirts, and deal only with the sexual objections, all while dressed whitewash like my students. This is why nobody has Daygame laid testimonials except for me this year, with every ethnicity too. I'm the only one who teaches social skills, social calibrations, and emotional control. If you're dismissing this because you're financially unstable, that's your problem, not mine. A student invested in Elite Daygame. First steps, my $5 booklet, and also got Elite Access. He then upgraded to the Elite Inner Circle. He invested in himself without spending much. This is the investment of a lifetime. The first time he got laid, it was after completing Elite 30, from hard chase to hero, my 30-day challenge course. I'll post his video testimonial soon, since he will speak for himself. Remember, despite what other Asian dating coaches tell you, that is all about black pill muscles in Nightgame. Daygame still requires social skills and social calibrations. It's not about bulky muscles or the dreaded Asian masculinity movement, where they try to bulk up in black shirts, hoping an Asian woman will go home with them at the end of the night. These same bulky Asians, influenced by these Asperger's engineer Nightgame coaches, will often tell you they love Asian women, that they're beautiful, and then proceed to claim they can get white girls anytime they want. Yeah, they get angry every time I post an Asian Daygame lay testimonial, showcasing social intelligence, whitewash fashion, and same-day lays. His recent lay was on a day 2, but his first was a same-day lay. Any of you Asian masculinity fuckers who gets angry at me and shows up promoting Nightgame, in fact, dirty bulking bodies with a black t-shirt will be removed from my channel, with a 0 tolerance for your toxic Asian black pill night. That's right, 0 tolerance, Riachi. 0 fucking tolerance. You can't argue with a bunch of narcissistic sociopaths who can't stop promoting their Nightgame agenda, accusing me of being bad for teaching Asians Daygame. It's the only Nightgame. Well, fuck you. Success leaves clues. Stop dismissing this due to inflation. Ignoring these miracles isn't okay because these miracles take a lot of work. If you could purchase Elite Daygame, first steps, get further training, and make his first approach in 2024. And many of you can do it too before the summer is over. Then get laid. Don't be lazy. Put everything you have into it and go all out. Burn the boats behind you and move forward. It's not cute or endearing to act super poor and be in massive debt. It's actually sad because it makes you quit. I'm looking for more students, not less. If someone can get the $5 booklet, train with me, and get laid through Elite Access, what the fuck is your excuse this year? Have you ever felt frustrated with your lack of success in dating? Exactly. What's wrong with these people? So many Indians on Instagram are, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what Indians? On Instagram? So you using some kind of crutch for what? Like, are we talking about day game? Are we talking about night game? Are we talking about Tinder? Like many Indians, like what Indians are we talking about? Doesn't even make any sense. All right, let's continue. So he got 2 lays with 2 white girls, United States, and you saw his other testimonial, which will be coming up soon. Something their instructor said was impossible. Believe it or not, ABCs of low self-esteem. Their instructor scolded him and says, "Listen, day game does not work in 2024 anymore." That's their words. Day game does not work in 2024. And then afterwards, they say like stick to Tinder and Instagram, and it made my student very angry. So he started to train with me again. After that, he got laid really quickly. He got laid with another white girl, and this is without Instagram, without Tinder, or any of this bullshit. None of my students use Instagram, or none of my students use like any sort of crutches. We don't use like status maxing because they can find one picture they don't like on your Instagram, and you automatically get rejected. So if you have other benchod Indians in there in the pictures with you, you get automatically rejected. Not everyone can have nightclub shit with a bunch of women like a club promoter, and not everyone can actually do stuff like that. They don't have the resources, and women may not stand next to them. So if that's what they're depending on pre-selection, you have another thing coming. Because if you look Indian wash, you dress Indian wash, you're gonna get rejected Indian wash. None of my students use Instagram. Like I said, they don't close on Instagram or social media. That's all bullshit. They always just use WhatsApp. That's it. So they're scolded for doing Daygame for my student. Instead of sticking to Tinder and stupid Instagram, he didn't have muscles like the Asian masculinity movement pushes, but he had social calibrations, emotional control, and the right fashion. These things that work in Daygame, things that actually last. The Asian masculinity movement, they've got it all wrong. Wearing black muscle shirts, trying to stand out with bulky Ninja Turtle muscles, that doesn't work. My students have a superior V-shaped body, but more importantly, they're socially calibrated. They install new habits, which Asian masculinity, ABCs of low self-esteem, queefing cancel Casanova does not understand, or even other tall self-proclaimed coaches who basically says be more congruent. Be congruent to what? Be congruent to being a zombie? They install new habits for my students, which takes 21 days in a row, not procrastinating like Indians. What Indians are always going to use alcohol every single time in heavy bedroom masculation. That's the secret. Always alcohol. Indians, you're not sure if they're East Indians or they're like native Indians. Seriously, they drink so much with alcohol. It's always everything's an alcohol crutch to Indians all the time. Always they always have some kind of alcohol in their game. Never can go without alcohol. They think they have to get her drunk because their accent is bad, and that's the only way that they can escalate super hard because they don't have guilt or empathy. That's right, because they're a bunch of sociopaths. Always alcohol. Everything needs to get her drunk. That's not game. My Indian students do not drink. The only thing they drink is water or maybe like a tea or something with her. That's it. They don't understand why you need to use alcohol. So basically, they install new habits and just focus on they don't focus on quick tactics or muscle maxing. They're doing day game, getting real results. While these guys are stuck in night game or Tinder, relying on luck and outdated methods. So let's listen to the third student of what he had to say. Because for this guy, he was actually part of the Asian masculinity night game. They he used to tell me that he is too ugly to do day game and that he does not have enough muscles as he's wearing black clothing. I said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" No, he's like, "John, I get it. The Asians tell me that you need to have muscles and they're pulling Asian women home." That's the first thing I did was change his fucking Asian hairstyle, his Chinaman hairstyle. He's half Vietnamese, half Chinese. And then I changed his fashion. Hear what he has to say. Let's go to this first testimony. I'm gonna go backwards.
New trainer and he'll do everything. It's like regular.
Let me try to figure out which is the first one.
Bubble. It's like China. Whatever. That was where John.
Okay, how about this? We'll go backwards from the fourth lay, I believe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, fourth, 3, 2, 1. Let's go backwards. All right. Let's hear what he has to say. He got 5 lays in Mexico when ABC's a low self-esteem student got 1 lay or a few in Mexico, one person. This person got 5 lays, all in 1 to 6 approaches. I have not posted all his testimonials because you guys would like to ignore it. You guys like to ignore miracles. I can post like 10 video testimonials. You guys don't give a shit because you're poor. Let's go.
This is another update.
This is a 3 months of proficiency student again. Another 3 months of proficiency. Let's hear what he has to say.
So I've just gotten another lay with another Latina. And
Mexico.
this one was within 4 approaches.
4.
The earlier one was within 2 approaches.
You see that? 2 approaches, 4 approaches. They're all 1 to 6. Every single one of his lays. Even in Toronto, when he banged a white girl, less than 1 to 6 approaches. Every single one.
Or is well within the 1 to 6 approaches
Yeah,
that John Elite has
1 to
mentioned,
6.
which is Daygame program. So with this girl, Latina, I started walking on the streets and I just approached her and opened using the methods that John taught me and his algorithms. And so we talked for a bit and then we started walking together. And eventually we sat down somewhere and we kept talking and I got her to open up using John's methods and set up a date for the next day. And the following day, we met up at a cafe where we talked some more. And eventually we left the cafe and I walked her towards my home where we had sex. And again, I just want to reiterate that no purchase, no alcohol, no Instagram. We only had a glass of water. Stereotypes in our boot camp.
Is that funny? No Instagram, no alcohol. Indians need Instagram and alcohol. All Indians. They can't do it without it. You don't know if they're native Indians or they're Indian Indians, right? Because they're like,
John has field tested like everything. He knows he has done all size and
okay, next up. I went forward a little bit.
Thing is, I don't even enjoy nightclubs. All that I know of Daygame, it actually works. It's what I want to keep doing forward because it's so much more chill and relaxed. Thanks again, and hopefully I'll update you guys again. I'm just here to make an update since.
So this is the second one, Mexican lay. So who gives a fuck if he's Indian or not? I get so many Indians laid too. We're gonna forget about that. What, you think you're special? Asians have less value. You might be thinking, well, Indians have less value. Well, how come I got more Asians laid than other dating coaches? More than Asian dating coaches, more than other dating coaches. They can't even get many Asians laid. They get like a few, and then suddenly they're gods? Seriously? They always have a token Asian. If Asians are the least laid testimonials of all dating coaches, and they're lucky to have one like that, Asians have lower SMV than Indians.
Since my last testimonial, I am the Asian, half Chinese, half Vietnamese 3MP student training under Johnny Leeds. And since my last update or testimonial, I was able to pull a white girl and get away from with her. And eventually she became my, but afterwards, I also approached another chick at the supermarket and I was able to pull her back home and started fingering her, but I could not get the lay. So it still counts as a pull. And we set up plans for the future. I just recently got another lay with a Latina. So what I have to say about John's program is that the 3MP bundle, it really works. And he comes up with solutions to all your problems, things you've never thought about before, like lots of mindsets, lots of different types of drills that really shape you
Drills.
to become
Fucking drills, not. I keep pressing the wrong fucking thing. Let me see. Why am I doing that?
approaches. I only did it with a few approaches for the first lay with the white girl. I only did it in 5 approaches. And for the most recent Latina, I only made 2 approaches that day. I'm also on vacation in Mexico right now. So what's great about this is that you can take John's teachings and the skills you learned and apply it to anywhere you go. The skills are transferable. It's not a numbers game. You don't have their spam approach and run super hard volume. You just need to do exactly what he says. Because the sooner you do what he says, the sooner you will get laid. Because John has field tested like everything. He knows he has done all of this himself. So he will not give you advice that he hasn't tried before. And additionally, I didn't use any crutches. So no Instagram, no like sexual market value. Like I'm just an Asian guy, so I don't have much value in Toronto compared to other races. Also,
exactly. Indians have more value, but the problem is bench-toed Indians, right, are harder because when you start dressing in a flannel shirt with the tapered pants, bench-toed beard, and curly hair, and just body odor and sneakers, then of course you're gonna get xenophobia. Then it becomes 2 out of 10 for perceived natural status. But if Indians start wearing blazers, now they're whitewashed. They raise the points for money. They also raise the points for looks. They also raise the points for status. Now they're 4 out of 10 whitewash Indians, despite having an accent. That's why it's really important for Indians to wear a blazer. So Indians have a variable SMV. If Indians look like a Latino, they're a Latino SMV. If an Indian looks like a black person, they have a black SMV, 8 out of 10. So Indians are variable. Does that make sense? But if you look like a banchoed Indian, you'll be treated like a banchoed Indian, right? Don't be a dumb mama chode. Understand that? So, yes,
Also, like not use any alcohol, right? The girls were not drunk; they were just in their
exactly. Namaste. Mere nam John He. Ya dating coach.
sober stuff. So it's all from Daygame. And what I have to say is, I definitely recommend John's 3MP bundle. I'm only like almost complete the Kaizen program, which is just a lot of drills, and I've just only started the 3MP infield analysis. So I'm not even like halfway through the program yet, and I'm already seeing a lot of results. So for all the Asians out there in Toronto that are struggling to get results, I definitely recommend John Elite as your dating coach. He will definitely improve your dating life. My testimonial for John Elite dating. 3MP.
Okay, here's the very first one, right? This is like, so the other one's like third lay, second lay, first lay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. This is the first one.
Student. And some of my background is that I'm an engineer and I'm Asian, so I'm half Chinese, I'm Vietnamese. And being born and raised in Canada, Toronto, and just North America in general, it's very hard to get results in terms of dating as an Asian if you don't have many friends or many social circle.
Not true.
Just try to get results in dating through whether it's like online or like nighttime or daytime. So that's why I looked up for John and Leaf to get coaching, and I'm a 3MP student. So what happened was, after 2 weeks into his Kaizen training, I was able to get laid with a white girl. And on the day that I did the approaches, I did it within five approaches. So it was my fifth approach. Now I met this white girl.
So 5, 2, and 4. All 1 to 6. There is no such thing as a numbers game. No such thing as numbers game. So having a hard time with getting the same day lay. How do you push past the number of close and make it a same day lay? Well, it's very simple. If you can last a certain amount of minutes with the right body language, which is 45 degrees, then you start to build attraction and also seduction at the same time. But since you don't know my body language, because you're not trained under me, you'll have no fucking chance. My students will fucking go on instant dates every single time and pull women home. You'll never make it. So that's how you do it. There's a certain time, if you can have enough, long enough, gradually up, 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 up. Rather than doing push pulls, fucking self amusement to spike up, what spikes up spikes fucking down. Woo, woo. When you look at the volume in water, these nails that go up and down, there's hardly any volume. But if you gradually go up in attraction, because of the body language that the other student had to practice for 3 hours in a row each side, then therefore you keep building the attraction. If that's the case, then why will you need push pulls or stupid game tactics like romantic flirts? Why will you need any of that bullshit? That's why you can't fucking do insta dates, because you can barely even get an insta date because you don't have the body language. You don't have the social skills flow drill. You have a zombie flow drill. You'd be like, statements. You look like you are this. And she's like, no. Are you this or that? And you're like, I guess so. You look like you're this. Another fucking statement, Cole Reed. Are you this? Are you that? Are you this? I got boyfriend. Oh, it's a numbers game, John. But you look like you're this. It's like, what? Are you this? You look like you're. You always get short answers. Unless she talks more, she'll like you, trust you, and be willing to go home with you. That's the problem. You're dressed wrong. You're probably Asian wash. No offense, Alex. You're probably Asian wash as shit. You don't have my training. You dismiss it. You won't stand a chance. My students will continually get laid in 1 to 6 approaches because there's no numbers game. UFO or UMP claims 1 to 3 approaches just to dismiss my one. That's bullshit. They have like fucking 8 lay testimonials at most for their boot camps. 8. Even if students get laid way afterwards, like 8 months afterwards, and bangs a bunch of 3 out of 10s, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because my students can get laid in 1 to 6 approaches. And the same thing happened when you saw that Asian person you all dismissed. When he got 15 lays, 5 white girls, 5 models, 2 actresses. Every single one of them is 1 to 6 approaches. That means if you can level up your social calibrations, social skills, flow drill, emotional control, you can literally clean up for Daygame, nonstop same day lays. Fuck number of closes. Let's continue.
And that was my I talked to her in the grocery store, and for 2 minutes, I followed the routines that John Elite gave me, his social skills, having body language. And after talking 5 to 10 minutes, I was able to get her number. And what happened a few days later was that she agreed to came up.
I think you're Asian wash. I think you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you don't know. It could be a lack of social skills. You're not calibrated. Why not train under me? Alex, are you one of my students? You're not, right? So if you're learning a different system, how the fuck are you expected to get laid like my students? How? You don't dress the same as my students. You don't have the same skill set. They practice it for 21 days. Even if one guy had to practice it, you know how many times this guy had to practice? Like all fucking day, he had to do nothing but drills. He also had to stand against the wall and do all the drills and everything. He was actually treated just as tough as the other student, but differently. These people went through hell. You don't know what you don't know. They're like an army. They train. They don't give a fuck about running up the hill and using tactics and memorization. They actually train perfect body language, perfect tonality, perfect all these things that you don't understand. You have a blind spot. Until I can diagnose it and you're a student, but you're not going to be a student, so you're always going to be stuck. Oh, but I'm doing this. Yeah, sure you are. You probably like if I had to diagnose your skills and actually heard you in your infield, you're probably shit. These people will fucking kill you. Imagine a guy with like 6 lays in a row, all 1 to 6 approaches from Toronto. White girl went to Mexico, fucking 5 extra lays. These are killers of Daygame. I train killers. And a lot of them even got women that are 9 out of 10 in looks. I should make a documentary. Maybe I make a USA documentary first. How my students are so easy to get laid in the United States. I'll just make it nonstop, like 15 documentaries or something and talking about it. After that, I'll post my Italian student, 5'8", who got nothing but 9 out of 10s, and he got like fucking 8 of them, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, or 8.5, 9. It's like the other half Jewish, half white student, 11 lays this year. What the fuck? Learn to game, guys. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. Let's continue.
She came over, and like a few minutes, like a few hours before she came over, I asked John for some dating tips, like how to.
You make some comments about like I said, imagine you're like a guy who basically is like retarded. You're like Eskimo. You're just like, hey, John, I think I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what a city looks like, but I do something that's similar to a city. It's called an igloo. What? You don't know what you don't know. Let me say this again, Alex. You don't know what you don't know. Because you don't know it, then you don't know what you don't know. How the fuck are you supposed to? I'm relaxed. So what? Everybody's relaxed. All these people, even white people, are relaxed. They no longer get laid for 2024 if they're not in a Latin country. Who cares? And you're Asian on top of everything. They're having a hard time now, the high value hard cases. And here you are saying like, oh, I'm doing good. How the fuck do you know? You're talking to the expert, the world's best day game coach. What if you did everything wrong? What if there's like 100 mistakes and you don't even know it, but I do it wrong? Yeah, good for you. It's called Dunning-Kruger effect. It's just like unskilled individuals that think they're better than they really are. They overestimate their skills. Dunning-Kruger effect. Look it up. Let's continue.
Like how to close as fast as possible, and he was able to give me some tips, which really helped me like finish and hold the high row basically. So that was really helpful. But also, what happened was she came over, we just talked, and what I did was I didn't build comfort with her, make her feel really comfortable, and that's really all you had to do. And here and there, I just threw in some flirts and started like escalating sexually. And eventually, that led to like a kiss, led to a blowjob, and blowjob led to assault. So that's the story there. So some more background about myself is that I was following Johnny Lee for a few years back then in 2019, but I never really took action because that was around the time I also, so but even then afterwards, when I broke up with her, I was still following Johnny Lee for a while, but I never really took any action until I would decide to get into contact. And I really wanted to, I wasn't getting any results.
Look, I'm trying to talk about my stuff, and you're trying to turn this into a. Exactly. You don't know what you don't know. You're not looking under the eyes of Johnny Lee. You don't know. You don't know what's up here. There's no dating coach that has like 2024 late testimonials every single month like me. They only have one if they're lucky. Most people have zero. They have 2021 old shit. If I have this many late testimonials, 46 late imposed this year, and nobody has anything. If they get one, they're lucky if they're popular, like self-proclaimed high late count guys, coaches for these white coaches. Just one mystery method. I'm 46 times better. You don't know what you don't know. What if it's the most advanced level of game up here? But it's not about being advanced tactics. It's about advanced social. It's like, okay, it's like turning a zombie into a human or a zombie into a natural. Naturals have perfect body language. They have perfect, they all stand sideways exactly like mine. They all do not go direct, or most of them, only a few of them. They all same day lay except for a few. They do exactly everything identically of what I am teaching. Believe it or not, Johnny Lee teaches what the naturals do. But you guys are like, oh, I don't get it. Social skills. Ugh. But all your naturals, all your friends are naturals. They all do the same thing. You don't know what you don't know.
Result I wanted my junior one. So I really wanted to push it to the next level with Johnny Lee. And I had a 3 MP bundle student Caitlin, and we talk about everything from mental trauma cure. So here's all your mental crap in your head that's like preventing you from daygaming or just gaming in general.
Exactly. Mental trauma cure program helps you to be more chilled. And that's what the Italian student and the other white student did. The white student got laid 5 days, 5 lays in a row. Italian student, all 1 to 6 approaches. After mental trauma cure, he fixed a lot of the stuff, his anger in his face and everything. He had been through a lot of traumas because he'd been rejected too many times. And it automated his lays.
Knowledge, as well as social skills, just like basic social skills that someone like an Asian person wouldn't have because, like for example, Asians we have Asperger's or like autistic traits. So that means like the way we speak, like the way I'm speaking right now is very like monotone, or just even in our face, you don't have any like facial expressions. The John Elliott teaches us how to do that, and by watching some people, I can change my voice whenever I want, just like this, because usually I speak like this. But by activating certain muscles in my voice and vocal cords, I can speak to more like a whitewashed person. Yeah. So John himself, he's just a very like strict coach in general.
Strict.
Very tough, but it's you're someone who's lacking discipline. He will be the coach, be the person to give you that discipline. And
I don't want to scare the shit out of the Asian people because ABCs of low self-esteem. They'll actually be your best friend. They'll pretend to be nice to you just to extract your money so they can get a good review, not getting laid. These are the people that defrauds you, and they have no Daygame solutions except for one student that's being laid in a Latin country.
A slow learner. I made a lot of mistakes. In the end, that's what his discipline that led to me getting late. So that was where John is a great coach. You have to, like, he has so many late testimonials, but even again, you still have to be the one who puts in the work. Not just take training with him and expect to get the results. You have to actually commit yourself to it and decide, oh, okay, late, you will win. A bit more about my past with that. I'm also like an engineer, so I'm a very logical left brain person. So it's very hard for me to have be creative, be in the moment, have like social skills, and just be like calm and present. And my past is that I used to go to like nightclubbing every weekend to try to get weed, but the result of that was like very low results basically. And when I started training with John, he changed like everything, like including my fashion, my hairstyle. He made me more whitewashed, which I didn't even realize was a thing. And yeah, that's what happened.
See,
there's a lot of
all these things I tell you are from the data. This is not my opinion. I'm not some kind of sociopath or some kind of like self-proclaimed coach. I'm not saying he's a sociopath. But I'm just saying they have these opinions as facts. They speak with such confidence. They're like, you got to be congruent, and then you got to step dates to the house and DHV. They have such confidence when they're speaking. I got this reason. Who cares about Tinder? They only went through a cab, and that's their Poen field. What the fuck? Ends in a fucking cab? White people always ends in a fucking cab. UMP cab. Todd V, cap. Tall self-proclaimed coaches, cap. It's all bullshit. But here's the thing. If the students are all they're telling the same things. I have zero opinions. I'm just telling you scientifically what works. They're saying the same fucking things because this works. This is the secret. But it doesn't mean you can do it just because you know it. You understand it, but it doesn't mean you have the habits to raise your value unless you're training with me.
There's a lot of things that John will teach you that you never like started on your own. So everything he taught me from just the starter program, these are things that like no other dating coach will teach you in their program. Very like hard to find someone who can teach you these things.
Yeah, because I'm teaching what the naturals are doing. The zombies are like, naturals? Social skills? I don't get it with a thumb up their ass. I don't get it, John. What do you mean by social calibrations? I'm chilled. I got emotion. Zombies.
These things and having this knowledge guide you like step by step through the process. He's a very committed coach. So when you train under him, he'll do everything in his power to make sure like you get laid, not just get numbers or get traction from girls, whatever that means. He'll make sure you get the lay basically. And, like, on the date night with this girl specifically, with this white girl, I didn't use like any alcohol at all. It was just I just followed Johnny Lee's like system and what he said. So that's the thing with like night game or any other sort of game. There's always some sort of crunch, right? But with this, it's just purely like following John's system, like social skills, like body language, and some like tactics. And whether it's like going like to instigate or pulling or just like escalating in the bedroom, there's a few tricks here and there that he'll teach you. Since I'm an Asian, I'm a Chinese, I have Chinese, have Vietnamese background, so I was a very like cheap person. I still am a cheap person, and I didn't invest much in my own personal growth. And this was probably one of the best investments I made on myself.
Yeah, exactly. Don't invest in the ABCs of low self-esteem and queefing canceled Casanova world tours because that's only for night game where they only focus on muscles and then they're going to make you quit day game because you listen to platform scammers. That's why I'm going to be on YouTube live a lot more. I've been away after COVID, so I've been less on here, but I should have been on here more because it's my fault for not being here. You guys got brainwashed completely, and you can no longer hear me and dismiss my late testimonials, even though they can only get one day game late testimonial, which is ridiculous.
Myself in terms of day game. And it's also like being seen on the John, you're also part of my hair circle group where you can see other students get late as well. And John is getting like testimonial, like late testimonial every like multiple times per week. It's nonstop and really surprising. And seeing all those other students get laid, they also really boost my own like belief system because when you see it, these guys are just like normal, like average guy.
You see that? This validates that he sees all the students getting laid from the inner circle and he believes he can do it. This is why you see some of my videos whenever it shows the other students getting laid and I phoned them out of nowhere on the YouTube live and they didn't expect it. And all of a sudden, when they start answering the questions, did you see all your classmates get laid and stuff? They're like, yes. Is all of them real? 100% real? Did you actually see the women they fucked? They're like, yes. They all say the same things because it's all fucking real. All fucking real. They're all saying the same things, but you guys don't listen because you're brainwashed.
Guys, they're not like super jacked, they're not like super handsome, they're not like very tall. Some of them are actually like very short. They're just like normal short, like 5'7", and they're not like white or anything like that. They're just like regular, like me and you. We're just like Asians, and we're like very logical. We have trouble like with social skills and things like that, but we still get laid like New John's training. Yeah, that's like the takeaway message is that if you're someone like me who's Asian, you're an engineer, or you're in a profession that's very logical, and you're struggling with dating and getting results in general, do seek out John Lee for coaching. I know Toronto is definitely harder for game compared to other cities in North America and just the world in general. And there's not many like you see online in the coaches. There's not many testimonials or results for day game without like a crunch of alcohol or social media. So I'm very grateful and for John's coaching. I hope to keep going. And this is just the first leg, and there's many more to come. Yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good.
There was many more to come. There was like 6 lives. All day game, 1 to 6 approaches.
Welcome to the 3 months to push.
So that's the thing. So let's talk about this. All right. So I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's the press releases from ABC's of low self-esteem. They're credible because they got press releases and they're popular. Even though I made a video debunking it, actually on YouTube Live like 2 days ago, I accidentally fucking deleted the video because there were so many videos that said upcoming. I deleted the fucking video, but I still re-recorded the video for YouTube. on the video section, but I'm going to make a video that looks like a Fox video, like a Fox News video. But I literally was here 2 days ago, if you guys did not catch that. I literally deleted the fucking live by accident. So I would be careful with this live. I'm not going to do the same mistake. If there's too many of them, I'll just private them and see which ones I can delete. I have to double check in the future. But press releases, I talked about that. So what's a press release? Luckily, it's still part of the website over here, so it'd be connected. So if I have this correct, this is a press release. It should be just right underneath that. Okay, underneath here. Give me a second. I can find it. Just bear with me. Where the fuck is it? Ah. Oh, fuck. I can't even find it. All right. So, anyways, let's just continue this. Like, I can look for it. I can try to fish it out. But you get my point. It's usually when it says Fox News, CNN, all this other shit. That's the press releases. See if I can find it here. Okay, let's just forget about this one. Let's continue. So I made a debunking video about the press releases. I deleted it by mistake and I redid it. But what does the news know about Daygame? That's a better question. What do you think the news knows? They haven't, like, they even try to show off Daygame related stuff for ABC's of low self-esteem on ABC News. But they only got one late testimonial this year, and I have 46. You know, that's kind of funny for late and poll testimonials. It debunks their worthless press releases because even Matt Artisan was also on he was also on the news on the ABCs or something like that. They looked at two boot camps, ABCs of low self-esteem and Matt Artisan. Matt Artisan has 3 late testimonials. ABC has only got one of them recently for a day game, one doing late. That's it. One in the last 2 years when the inflation became harder. So or fails to method escalate without crutches or alcohol. You got to maneuver her around. You got to flirt. You got to sexualize it to the maximum at some point, and you got to deal with the sexual objections. Of course, you might be saying, how do we do that? That's where fucking training comes in, guys. You get drilled habits, not tactics. You may know the strategy, but it doesn't mean you can do it without my training. I could tell you all the secrets, but it doesn't mean you can do it. That's how you do it. Maneuver warfare. You don't do fucking number closes, especially during the inflation, because she's going to flake on you because she's not in a good state of mind. If you already like having problems with money problems and you can't afford my coaching and you're banchoding, how do you think women are going to feel? They're going to bancho 10 times harder. So if you're affected, they're affected. You're gonna get 50 times the amount of objections. But how do I deal with the objections, John? This is for the training. I gotta keep some of this stuff for the training. But you guys think about maneuver warfare. But John, I can't get insta date. Yeah, because you don't know the social skills flow drill. You don't know the 45-degree body language. You're not dressed like my students. It takes training. That's what you need, habits, not tactics. It takes 21 days to develop a habit. These students always drills it down every single day. These habits, how to deal with objections, body language, whitewash tonality, social skills flow drill, they drill it down. You're not part of my program. How the fuck are you supposed to get it? Because you memorize it? This is like Todd V shit? No, that's not gonna work. Seriously. That's ridiculous. So that's the thing. It debunks their worthless press releases because they're Asperger engineer Asian dating coaches. Because these things are social proof. When you have CNN, Harvard University, you speak at Yale, and all these other places, but that doesn't mean you can get them late for Daygame. And people cannot judge what is good or not. Just what sounds safe on the news. And they did cancel. Queefing cancel Casanova. We made a video on YouTube Live talking about him getting canceled twice, just like Jan Lifestyle got canceled twice for these other Asian dating coaches. This is why you cannot listen to the tall, strong muscles as the halo effect. That's the problem because their students are pulling underage girls and they're canceled in Brazil and they have an indictment. Here's the biggest problem, because you guys are only listening to the coaches with big muscles and tall height. You assume, oh, because they have height and muscles, they must be good. One Daygame late testimonial debunks the halo effect. Even ABCs is stronger than me. They have more muscles than I do. They have even, for a JT scam. I mean, he's not a scam, but maybe for Daygame, not for nightgame. But he's better looking than I am. What the fuck? I used to think, I'm better looking, so therefore I feel good about myself. He's much better looking than I am. I look like shit compared to him. What the fuck? How did this happen? He looks good now. Like, is working out. Like, congratulations, good transformation. Lots of muscles. He's better looking now. Better looking than me. But one late testimonial charging $10,000 for these fucking Euro tours and these Latin tours for $6,000 in Queefing Castle Casanova. They're charging $50,000 for a world tour. $50,000 in Latin countries. That's so much money. So that's the thing. This is not authority just because they have muscles and height and they have these press releases. These are nasty people on platform. These are platform scammers that have been given a platform to speak on. And because of that, people listen to them during the inflation when they have less money. They become brainwashed because I wasn't on YouTube Live after COVID, after I got hit with it and I nearly died. I'm still here today. So the more subscribers they have, the more Machiavellian manipulation they have. That's right, they're manipulative. The more sheeps they have that are brainwashed zombies. Well, the tricky thing is here that press releases does not get you laid for Daygame. That is debunked because they only have one Daygame late testimonial in a Latin country in 2024. They didn't have anything in 2023 or 2022. And second of all, positive reviews doesn't mean that they got laid for their students. They got plenty of positive reviews for ABCs of low self-esteem. I don't collect positive reviews. I don't give a fuck. It's either laid or pulled. It's results testimonial. That's all I collect. I don't give a fuck how much you feel good. Unless you get your dick into a vagina, I don't give a fuck about how you review it. In fact, a lot of students might say, this guy is too fucking mean. This guy is like a drill sergeant. This is like a military. This is how they're so good. This is why my students one-on-one can kill any of the other dating coaches. They're so good when they're trained, but when they stop practicing the drills, they lose all their fucking skills. They no longer get laid. So skills, it's kind of like planting a seed. And then you keep practicing over and over, like Elite 30 or the 30-day challenges of Elite 60 or Elite Kaizen. So you water the plant every single day a little bit. Long-term consistency beats short-term intensity, like boot camps and stuff, bench hold camps. Long-term consistency, 21 days. But Indians love to take breaks for 2 weeks at a time. The plant dies all the time. So you got to replant the seed. Start from day 1, day 2, day 3, and they drill it down. They don't skip days. When they don't skip days, then eventually at some point, everyone sprouts differently. That's when they get insta dates. That's when they pull women home. That's when they start to get laid, is how when the tree or the plant grows. It depends how big it grows, is how many lays they get. Some people may grow a flower, right? Get 1 or 2 lays. Other people get like fucking 11 lays in a row, or 15 lays, or 66 lays like a black student. It really depends on the person. 150 lays. It really depends on the student. Or 10 fuck buddies. It depends when they grow. So therefore, it's all habits, not tactics. If it were all tactics, then where are their lay testimonials? Because alcohol crutches no longer works. That's the problem. Alcohol crutches no longer works. I told you to contact me, and you never contact me. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. I may make, for you, might be exception, but you never contact me at all. Ever. So what the fuck? Let me see the email. You said you'll contact me, right? contact@johnelite.com. Let's see if it's there. Nope. Absolutely not here. I only see one Indian, bench hold Indian, signing up for a backstabbing Indian from India. That's why I kicked them all out. That tried to sign up to one of my webinars, but that's about it. Unless that's you, which I don't think so. But that's all from India. So you guys want to treat me with indifference and just pretend then you lose your opportunity. Why don't you contact me? There's a contact me form on my website. You know that? Go to the contact me form. All right, let's continue. So basically, positive reviews don't mean anything. Let's say they got like 35 positive reviews. That means 35 boot camps. But if they did not get laid or pulled, and they call it romantic encounters for a pull, but when they get laid, they call it lay, then that means the romantic encounters is a scam, is defrauding you. You think he got laid because he got a romantic encounter or they got a good review. They're testimonial stuffing. Lots of dating coaches testimonial stuff. Some dating coaches will take one stupid lay, right, from their boot camps, one lay, they'll cut it up into 10 fucking boot camp documentaries and they'll shove their playlists with that stuff. And now you think, oh, that person has a lot of student results. No, it's called testimonial stuffing at its worst. If you divide it by 10, you get the real number of actually their testimonial count of how many students got laid. Very few. It's a fucking joke. And they don't even have like a fraction of what I have, anyways, for video testimonials, even when they stuff it for bootcamp clips, because they no longer have anything beyond 2021. But let's continue. So why listen to me? I'm proving I'm the best Asian dating coach, not their false claim where they say, oh, they're the best Asian dating coach in the United States. I have 646 laid and pull testimonials for Daygame, more than their fucking Asian dating coaches for their night game shit. And I'm not just talking about night game either. Day game is harder and it takes real skills. And that's where I come in. Look at ABC's of low self-esteem. They get one day game late testimonial. One from a Latin country. Really? One. And that's nothing. I got more students married in my program than they do. They keep showing this stupid Asian guy getting married over and over. You look at my Chinese student. What the fuck? Haven't you guys seen the video? The Chinese student on my YouTube. I have not promoted the video yet, but over here, as you guys can see, on the top one, the green one, 15 lays, 5 models, 2 actresses. He also got a foursome in a threesome. And he got 0 results before. He got laid every single time in 1 to 6 approaches for this video. Better ABC.
Here's how you get ahead of other Asian dating coach night game companies in 6 to 12 months using Daygame, getting nonstop Daygame lays with my coach. Today is my student's birthday and his first wedding anniversary. Let me show you how he achieved incredible Daygame success. First, you've probably heard about ABC. Impoverished school group. For 2 years of inflation, they haven't gotten anyone else late for Daygame until it's mostly night game, Tinder matches, setting the bar way too low. Let me show you real Daygame success looks like. This is the story of one of my best students, Chinese guy. He was 15 women during inflation, including 5 models, 5 actors, and 2 actresses. And yes, he even married one of those actresses. Also have other students in Mexico, got 5 days in a row before they started my girl from Toronto. He former ABC low self-esteem student who got no results with coaching. Suddenly got laid with the one girl that is redhead for Daygame for coaching. He also found another lady with another redhead in the United States. As one of their ABCs coaches told him Daygame doesn't work anymore. Told my student to Daygame for Tinder and Instagram game. Today is special because it's the first student's birthday and his wedding anniversary, and I'm sharing his story with you as a tribute. Hopefully, it isn't too low vibrational frequency because I have a lot I want to talk about. I'm going to surprise him because he gave me the greatest gift. He got me a $6,000 chatbot for my second website at johnelitedating.com. I wish more people use it. Give the video a like, and I'll post his 4 video testimonials in the future. I'm holding off on sharing them now because most of you have been ignoring these kinds of success stories as if you're punishing me for being too direct and abrasive. But trust me, if you can ignore this, you can ignore anything. I'll post the rest later. Ignoring or dismissing my late testimonials doesn't get you laid due to your financial stress, which is not my fault, which I don't have to apologize for if you have mismanaged your money due to ADHD and trying to waste your money to buy things to reduce your depression. I didn't trigger you. Your low self-esteem did. When the student came to me.
You get the point. So basically, for this student, he only got 1 lay from RSD after 5 years. Right before he met me, he got a lay in Spain, a Latin country. That's it. So you cannot say, oh, he got some kind of super high SMV. No. He's 5'8". And all of a sudden, he gets 15 fucking lays, 5 white girls, 5 models, 2 actresses, and he married one of the actresses. What the fuck? And he got married. And you compare it to ABC's story, they keep shoving in your fucking face. This other ugly looking Asian guy with a scrawny looking face marries a mid looking woman who is unattractive. Not an actress, not anything like that. Just some average looking woman that no one gives a fuck about. And they keep shoving it in the Asian's face. These engineers, these Asian engineers, the guys who can afford these $50,000 world tours or these Latin tours for $6,000 or $10,000 for Euro tours. These guys who are engineers, while you guys are getting poorer, who can barely afford my booklet, and these guys are getting richer. And the level 2 students who can afford Elite Bundle 2 is now becoming level 1. Everyone's becoming poorer due to the inflation. Seriously. And if you're dumb enough to vote for the far left instead of Trump, I feel sorry for you because you're delusional. You're a zombie. So that's their night game nonsense cannot compare. They claim they're the best Asian dating coach, but with what? Press releases? Popularity, more subscribers? None of that fucking matters if they don't have the results to back it up for their students. I've proven my method works with real students, real results every single month. These other coaches are living in like the past with 2021 testimonials. What the fuck? You ever look at other dating coaches? They think they're so great, and they only got 2021 shit. I'm Indo-Canadian, I mean Indonesian, and if I'm not dressed whitewash, I'm still at 2 now. Oh, you're talking about Indian? I'm Indian, Canadian. I've seen images go down the drain, so I'm worried that I did our 2 out of 10 natural status go down to. No, no, it did not go down. 2 is the lowest. But think about in Canada right now, right? Because Canada was fighting with India, because India tried to assassinate some of our Sikh kind of people, those kind of pastors and Sikh leaders. So there's a tension between Canada and India. So all the people that try to use a visa to live in Brampton, in Toronto, to be engineer, they're actually got into the country, went to university, and got kicked out of Canada now. They don't get to stay. So there's a tension. So whenever there's a world event, it can affect you. Just like Latinos, when the migrant crisis happened, they're no longer 7 out of 10 now. They're like 6 out of 10. But for Canada, the more Indians are there, the harder it becomes. Does that make sense? If you take a European country and you flood it full of Indians, it becomes harder for other Indians and Asians. The less they have, the more exotic advantage you have. So you're going to lose your exotic advantage if Brampton is just filled with nothing but Indians. Like literally everybody's an Indian, just like Surrey over here. I used to Daygame in Surrey with my Asian student, and they're all Indians over there. Literally, we're like the only 2 yellow people, like Asians. Everybody else is brown, Indian. And I don't want to sound racist saying that, but I'm just saying. Literally, Surrey is so Indian that everyone looks at me like, "What are you doing here? Did you get lost or something? Did you get lost in the wrong area?" So that's the thing. Let's continue. So these people living in 2021 testimonials from the past, a time where everything was easy during the pandemic. Not that during the 2023, 2024 inflation. Inflation hits in 2022, but it doesn't really count because that year is just the beginning of the stranglehold. People can still breathe. But after 2023 and 2024, it gets harder. They don't have Daygame lay testimonials anymore. I do nonstop, but you guys don't care. So I'm going to have to post them all. We're just playing the video and then letting you see the testimonial, letting you see that got laid, and then just I'll talk over it. I'll make some documentaries until you guys actually get your thumb off your ass and train with me. The truth is their game has expired. My student results are current from this year, month after month, and they keep coming. So how is my system easier and more effective? And here's why my offer, this is what I'm offering. I create a 3 months of proficiency bundle to you to give you everything you need to succeed in Daygame. This isn't a quick fix or some overpriced world tour. With my program, you all get my Daygame courses and you can train for an entire year. That's right. And you're not paying $6,000 like a Latin world tour, or $10,000 or fucking $50,000 for some queefing cancel Casanova shit. Boot camps like this from other coaches charge that much, and you're paying far less, and you're getting way more value. The best part is I don't even need to be there in person to train you. I can get you laid without some overhyped boot camp or a cheesy world tour. This isn't about tactics or muscle maxing like the Asian masculinity movement that preaches. This is about building habits that sticks, developing social calibrations and mastering emotional control, skills that actually gets results. My system is perfect for the nerdy Asian engineers, the ones who wants to get laid but are ignoring me because they're listening to these platform scammers. But they don't want to waste time or money on these platform scammers. You should come here if you're affluent. If you're an Asian engineer, I'm speaking to you, who are tired of being brainwashed by ABCs of low self-esteem. You have options. And I'm offering you the 3 months to proficiency bundle, proven to work, especially for older Asian gentlemen looking for results with white girls. Don't you want to bang a white girl for Daygame? Don't you want to do that? And not just Latinas in some Latin country in Colombia or Peru or Mexico. Don't you want to get your dick wet if you're Asian? Forget about the Asian masculinity movement. Forget about muscle maxing. Forget about wearing black clothing. Get laid over here. This is better. While other coaches are busy boasting about 1 or 2 testimonials and relying on popularity, mostly 1 actually for Daygame, that's all they have. I'm delivering consistent, measurable results in Daygame. I have more laid testimonials for pickup and Daygame than all of them combined. And that's why I'm the best Asian dating coach in the world, hands down. And I don't need night game or tricks or fucking Tinder gimmicks. I deliver real Daygame results month after month, year after year. So if you guys want to stay here, I want to pitch my 3 months to proficiency course. You guys can leave if you don't want to hear it. If you guys want to hear me out and you're Asian or Indian or you're somebody that wants to get married one day, you should hear me out. Give it a thumbs up if you're learning a lot. So, all right, now that I got your permission, let me tell you about my 3 months to proficiency program. This isn't some quick fix. This isn't some night game gimmicks or Latin country shortcuts. This is the real deal, a deluxe package designed specifically to help Asian men get laid in Daygame. Even if you struggled for years, you've been burned before and you spent money on boot camps that focus on night game and outdated methods. But this program, it's different. It's proven. It works. It has 646 laid poll testimonials to prove it for Daygame. And here's what's included in the program to guarantee your success. If you do everything I say exactly, Elite Daygame, first steps, $7 value. This guides you through your first steps in approaching women successfully. Elite 30, from hard case to hero, $250 value. A complete transformation program that takes you from struggling with approaching to consistently pulling. Elite access, WhatsApp consulting, $400 for 1 whole year. You have direct access to my mental filter on WhatsApp, where you can ask me questions anytime. The Elite Inner Circle, a yearly membership is a $200 value. Of course, to get into the network with the top guys learning and applying Daygame techniques, of course, you have to be invited only to join the Inner Circle. You cannot actually join it. People don't leave. Kaizen program, $2,000 value, a deep dive into incremental improvements, helping you master Daygame step by step. Elite 60 emotional mastery method, $2,000 value. Learn how to master your emotions and maintain emotional control during interactions with women. 3 months of infield analysis. This program used to be called 3 months to proficiency. It used to cost $5,000, and yes, people pay me that much for it. And I review your infield recordings and give you personalized feedback to sharpen your Daygame. I go through this every few days. Mental trauma cure, $1,000 value. Will resolve any emotional blocks and trauma that's holding you back. Tax scheme for minorities, $900 value, tailored specifically for those facing unique challenges in texting and closing. Now it's included with 20 Skype sessions, $6,000 value. Personal coaching sessions where you deep dive into your progress. Sorry, just coughing because I have allergies. But total value over $17,757 worth of coaching and courses. But I'm here to tell you, it is not $17,757. I'm not going to talk about the pricing right now. If you want to know how much it costs, I can assure you it costs less than the ABCs of low self-esteem, like Euro tour. It'll cost less than their Latin tour. It'll cost less than their boot camps. I want to make sure that you're a good fit for the program. Talk to me, call me, and we'll see if you're qualified for this program. And I don't just take anybody. I only work with people who are serious about getting results in Daygame. So if you're ready to finally stop wasting time and money on these press release frauds and start seeing results in success in real life, reach out to me. Let's lock in your spot, start your infield reviews this week, and get you on fucking track. You finally get your dick wet to get laid. I'm here to help. Let's do this. All right, let's continue. Any Asians, even short ones, anyone can get laid. Yes. Like, it doesn't matter how short you are. We can look over some of them. All right. Let's see Asians over here. Find them. Let's see if I actually have this one. A Vietnamese guy, 5'8", gets laid. Here's a 5'5" short Vietnamese guy. Free fuck by these two models. Let's see what he has to say. 5'5".
Find on online teachers. There's something about me. I'm a Vietnamese guy. I'm 5'5", studying in university in London. And I decided to buy this program because before I was just going out all the time, being really direct with girls and never work now. They would just flake or just brush me off. But with John's program, I was able to open transition and like show myself, express myself. So to get the girl attracted to me, and he taught me everything from approaching to what to do with a number, what to do on a date, and how to pull the girl back to my place and escalate from there. As an Asian guy living in Europe, in a country that the first language of everyone is English. First, I found it really difficult to get attraction from women, but after taking this program, I feel like anything's possible, and I just feel unstoppable at the moment. I'm dating two models, one Asian, one white girl, and just dating any races I want without any barrier. I'm just really happy. On top of that, I want to clarify that by following John's teaching, in the span of 1 week, I have been able to pull two girls home and slept with them. One is an Asian model, and the other one is a really hot white girl.
Yeah. So he actually banged 3 women, like 3 fuck buddies, but one of them left. But that's after this testimonial. So he kept the Asian model, and the other one's the the other one's a white girl who's a model too. Both of them are models. You know how ugly London women are. The blonde chick. So that's possible. Let's see here. I have other short people with this guy has 7 lays in Europe. He's 5'7". There's another short Asian. It's here. Look at those short little Asian guys.
Basically, my experience with to time frequency grades, sometimes challenges since like he was trying. So he exposed those students and it teaching and just help hear it. Two, people that you know isn't himself. Way he didn't have athletic, so he's just 2 skills.
ABC's a low self-esteem and queefing canceled Casanova.
To be strength on work on his body. So or the survivor right? Or 3, it gives you a bunch of like sorry bullshit language, like be yourself, be nice to a girl, right? Which doesn't work. Which you know, I was having difficulty approaching girls, and I had like one-word conversations. Because I don't want to name on college campus, right? But a college campus is kind of a rush. It's more of a warm approach than it is cold. You're pre-selected because you're students, right? Conversational topics are just set up for you. For example, classes, studying, going campus events. But There's 30 approaches on the street, right? It's not a number like this. Bullshit. It's not a numbers game, right? I mean, a little bit. You need to get skills, is what it is. So you need to put in some numbers to improve your skills. But you don't need to be going out there and doing like 200 approaches daily, right? If you just practice your skills in mirror, it won't take you that long, right? Because there's a lot of ongoing issues right now, COVID, right? I'm in California, so there's wildfires, so there's a lot less people on the street, like basically almost no one on the streets because it's really snowing outside. And when you're talking to a girl, you need to just look like you care. Like you need to make the correct facial expressions. You need to have perfect body language, right? And your voice needs to not be like creepy as fuck, right? Because that was the problem I had before. It came off creepy as fuck because I just sat weird. I was sitting wrong, right? 45 degrees. But the girl that I started getting to, I put her in a photo shop, right? I was like, excuse me, is anyone sitting there? She was sitting down. I sat next to her. And we talked about COVID and ongoing events and things of that nature. And there were barely any, honestly, like, none of it was direct. Like, didn't bring up anything sexual at all. She mentioned, I asked, are you hungry, right? She's like, yeah. And then we went got sushi. We went to her hotel room, and I was like, holy shit, right? Am I about to same day late? Am I about to lose my virginity to this? And I was like, oh, yeah, I am. And so we're walking in there, watching Netflix, right? Eating our sushi. I go to the restroom, right? After we finish, I come out, she's laying on the bed. I lie next to her. I just use a little bit of Kino. Wham, bam. I'm taking her clothes off, pulling on the condom. No, she gave me head for that. And then I pull on the condom and smashing her. And everything's cool. You know, we exchange numbers and we're getting free barbecue next week, right? And I leave. I was like, whoa, dude. Like, you need to fix these bumps. And the girl will think you're creepy. And it's a lot easier that way. Other dating coaches, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know. Like, or they just lie to you. All I did was use a lead bird. Like, honestly, I barely looked at John's playbook. I probably will in the future. But fix your social skills. You get laid, like, really, really fast. Like, so that with me. I think I'm not perfect, right? It's still need improvement, right? Once you do that, you're good to go.
Yeah, you get the point. So basically, we can go on forever. Let's just use one more video and then I'll just get off the YouTube. This guy is very good looking. He looks as good looking as the other Asian dating coaches, but he struggles. So if he struggles, the other ones will struggle with Asperger's and muscles. I help him build muscles. He's one of those guys that were on that picture. But let's hear what he has to say. Okay. This guy's a China guy living in the United States. Been chillin'. So basically, that doesn't really count as Daygame because he had to hang around with her for 6 months before it led to anything. That's not Daygame. So like they met, hanging around. What the fuck? Basically, you get all these courses from 3 months to proficiency. While it's more expensive than my other programs, it is going to be a lot cheaper than anything ABCs of low self-esteem will have, and also Queef and Cancel Casanova. Social skills full of drill. That was still a same day late. Even though he got a phone number and met her later in the day, that is still a same day late, technically speaking. See? Body language, facial expressions, hairstyle, all the things I'm telling you guys that you're not listening. This guy is better looking than most of you. This is like a 9 out of 10 looking guy for Asian. He looks like a fucking K-pop artist or maybe like a Korean actor or something. He's not Korean, he's Chinese like me. He's that good looking. He's just as good looking as those ABC's coaches, those tall, strong guys. But he can't even fucking do it. So what chance do you have if you're not trained with me? Ridiculous. V-shape. Yeah, that's the V-shaped body I was showing. That was the student on the top left. He never had muscles before. He was doing calisthenics. He was so skinny, he looks like a twig. He couldn't even fit into his pants. Seriously. After using my workout plan, now he has a V-shaped body. Flirting, teasing. That's a secret. You practice enough drills with my supervision in your social skills flow drill is only on 2.5. But until you get it right, that's extra 2.5 permanently. Women can actually detect that, believe it or not. They can look at it. They're like, this guy's got it. Just like the old man, 55-year-old, 52-year-old before. He's same day late 3 times like in a row. One is day two, actually. No, 2 same day lays, 1 day two. And they got another same day late recently. Once the woman sees his value, his body language is game over. His social skills flow drill. Whitewash tonality, game over. Open their legs.
they feel with constant rejections. And John will look over my info and point out my mistakes during these times. Yeah, because I watch all the product videos, but those two are mental filters, that mental filter. So it's really important for John himself to.
So what he's saying that if you don't get coaching from me, you don't change your mental filter. Just like Alex over there, and I have to explain to him what you don't know. You might only see things like an Eskimo, and I'm trying to tell you what's a city, and you're like, I don't have a reference for it, and you think you're good. He gets it because I talked to him over here. Does that make sense? In order for you to really change right now, because you're on YouTube Live and asking me questions, every single person here is wearing a glasses, okay? For example, they're all wearing glasses, okay? Except their glasses is not clear, is not clear. So what I do when you talk to me in my training, you don't see it from your own blurry glasses. That is the wrong prescription. I take off your glasses and I say, here's the new one. Here's the new mental filter. And you're like, oh, this one's a little bit clearer than before. Every time I change your glasses, then it gets clearer and clearer. Does that make sense? You can't learn these things on your own. And even if you look at my products and you follow everything exactly, you probably will get laid. But for some of you that are delusional, that don't have the mental filter, you need somebody to change the glasses. If I don't change the glasses, you won't see clearly. I hope that makes sense. That is the solution. Get 3 months of proficiency, get Elite Bundle 2, get something, upgrade your training, invest in yourself. If it's working and this is the only game in town, I don't think there's actually choice for another dating coach. They don't have stuff since 2021. They talk a great game. Yeah, most Chinese will get triggered. That's why ABCs are so nice to you because they need to extract the money from you. If you're not triggered, they can take the money. If you're triggered, they can't. But I have to tell you the truth and trigger you so that way you'll change and do the drills properly. I'm not trying to be mean here. I want results. They want money. Romance. Problem with romance is that if you try to use romantic flirts and you don't fit in the boyfriend and girlfriend frame, what's going to happen is during their boot camps, they're going to trick you. On the sales call, they'll tell you stuff like, "Oh, hey, would you like to celebrate after the boot camp and drink some alcohol?" And you're like, "Yeah, why not celebrate?" So you already buy some alcohol and you put in the bedroom. Then they tell you might as well use the alcohol and escalate her super hard. Just keep it below the level of rape. That's what they tell you. And their students, when they get a little bit of results, but that's no longer sustainable past 2021 because women has too many objections during the inflation. That's expired. That game crutch. You cannot build everything results off of game crutches. This is not sustainable. Anyways, continue. Romance is stupid. Like I said, they always say I'm tough. So that means I'm probably as scary tough as possible, but I care. It's called tough love. Just like you saw in the recent videos, you start to realize that, wait a minute, this is tough love. This is what gets the student results. If they don't have tough love, they don't have the drills like a drill sergeant, then they're going to get destroyed out there. The other coaches would take your money. And they don't have anything from 2021 and beyond, or they have this one late testimonial.
Not just with his teaching, but how he lives his life. So, what brothers, whether you're Asian or not, if you want to keep your dating life and just life in general, or even just have your future partner's life, to be honest, in general, I highly recommend you to join Elite's product and teaching, especially the John's Elite bundle and Elite Access. That's really helped me. But when in doubt, just ask John what product you should get.
Yeah, everyone's different. So if you're an engineer, maybe like 3 months of proficiency bundle is perfect for you.
Yeah, I wish I got the access from Sam, but it's a fool. But the professor is, he didn't tell me to get more expensive products.
Give a thumbs up for the video if you're inspired. There's only 3 likes.
Fall again. Zero. Long picture. That's all I said. So, full of street, particularly to the total. But in English, you could join us so you can join to bring value to this to something. And work with the combo to get future. So that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Exactly. Join the 3 months of proficiency bundle. You've engineering Asians, stop getting triggered. You want results with white girls? You want to bang white girls in the West? Fuck Latin countries. Join me. That's all I gotta say. See you next video, guys. Ciao.